Wow, sorry, I pushed the wrong button. You actually didn't hear what I just said. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Green Room. $7 Mike Dave here. Jesus, I pushed the wrong button. Anyway, what's up, guys? It's the Green Room. You're listening to White Bat Audio, hopefully. 101 says the chat, which was me earlier. Shout out to me. I did a classic move back there. And for things to get heated up, so we'll get into it a little bit later, but we've got so does the 15-minute video come after the hour-long video? Mm-hmm. So is the 15-minute video her, right, the judge?
Yeah, so the first hour is Darrell Brooks's spiel, and then she basically is like, all right, we're done, and I'm up next. And hers is, it's not, I cut it, and it's not even 15 minutes of her.
I mean, it's fine.
But, I mean, I like her as a judge. I don't know, Wisconsin seems to have some pretty decent judges.
It's just, sorry, I'm distracted because I have to write down somewhere the name of the person who requested this because I have to say it later. And my writing stylus and wax tablet have gone missing. Goodness gracious. Oh, there's my other screwdriver. I'll take you along on an audio journey, listener, as I look for my wax tablet and stylus. Not over here.
Wisconsin has some very good judges, yes.
Here it is. Bam. Found it, everybody.
Bam.
All right. I'm going to have to set you down, and you being the microphone, Christa's going to have to take you on this journey alone for just a moment.
Here's the journey. David is writing on his... It's the journey. He's writing in his chicken scratch. How's everybody's Friday? I had an all-day work conference, which was cool.
Good news, people, I'm back. That horrifying tragedy you just had to witness was over. What's that all about? Very good. I would love to go to a county fair in Wisconsin because that you're probably going to get the best butter.
Cheese curds.
Yeah, like if...
Straight up heavy cream right from the cow.
Yeah, like one day, if that's your thing, you'll probably have to do that. I'm toying with the idea now that I've floated it to you all. I think it's a good one. Not Highway Hat's good, but it's okay.
What, going to a dairy thing?
Yeah, like doing, instead of like getting in a old Volkswagen van and like touring with fish, just like hit every county fair in Wisconsin one summer or one year, depending on how often they are, and just like cheese your ass out.
Is Wisconsin in the middle north?
It's pretty middle north. I think they call that the Midwest.
Is it above?
Technically.
Where? I'm trying to think of where it is on the map.
Near like the Michigan area where all the lakes and shit are, and Chicago's near there, and Wisconsin. Yeah. Oh boy, I will take the $7 microphone on the road to a Wisconsin Dairy Fest if they'll invite me. Dear God, if you're listening, anybody on the Dairy Council in Wisconsin, anybody in charge of a fair or a festival or a carnival, get at me. I will do it. I will shill like you would not believe. For some cheese curds? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Mamma mia.
We got some, what did we get? Jalapeno cheese curds from...
From it doesn't matter. There's a little market that only has two.
So good. They were so good.
Aussie Clock. Thumbs up, says Matt.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, whoa, take a picture of that and send it to Matt on the Discord. And Chris is like, no, I don't want him to see it ever. I'm taking this to the grave with me. And I'm like, I'm at least going to tell him about it later.
That's not how that happened.
That story is as legit as the wife spreadsheets. The worksheets. Sorry. Damn wife worksheets. I want to do like, this is super like nobody would do, like not do this. I want to do this, but no one would show up for it. I want to mount a camera above me to look down at my desk here and give you a tour of all my fun monster trucks and stuff. Because I realized if I had to put them all together, it'd probably take an hour and a half, and that's like a show.
That's true.
Christa sent me a picture of the Aussie clock. How did that happen?
It didn't.
Oh. Kayla is sowing the seeds of dissension in the typing square.
I see that. It had a kangaroo on it and a koala.
Had a dingo probably. Oh my god! Here's the thing. I'm gonna the thing I'm drinking out of tonight was a recent find at a thrift store. You can't see Christa's, but it's equally good.
I don't have a Patreon.
Oh man! So we found, like, you know how sometimes you'll go into a Goodwill or any thrift store. I don't care, like your local. Whatever, I'm sure Australia has something akin, or Salvation Army, and you go and like somebody who collected something died and their family didn't know what to do with their stuff, so it all just ends up at a Goodwill. So if like you're me and you're lucky, you'll find someone who is like a camera buff and you'll snatch up 8 film cameras for $3 a piece, or like I almost did today, snatch up a dozen beer steins because there were so many. There was a fireman one and a Ford one and a race car one, and I didn't know what to do. I wanted so many of them, but they were like $5.50 a piece, which is like Goodwill expensive.
They're more than that.
Were they $6, $7?
They were like $7 or $8.
Hell,
they were Goodwill expensive. You're right.
Yeah, I'm saying like anything over $5 is Goodwill expensive, and these were them.
And they didn't have the right color tag.
I think, whatever. Well, the story is I ended up going with one above all. Even though I'm not a fisherman, I got the fish beer stein because it was Avon, had the original paperwork still inside of it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I then had to find out I had to Gorilla Glue it back together because Avon's products are shoddy as hell.
Well, it's old. Probably.
Right, but nobody's drinking out of it. It still had, like, who's flipping the thing? It's out of the shelf until somebody died, and now I have it for $8.
Just tried to haggle. Can't haggle at Goodwill.
You can't haggle at a Goodwill. That's the thing. Like, it's not... It smells like a yard sale and looks like a yard sale and has mostly yard sale type things and people in it. You can't haggle.
Ugh, we went to one yesterday.
Oh my god.
We walked in and it smelled like a rehab facility where someone just took a dump and the CNAs were taking care of it.
Yeah, like I lived in a skilled nursing facility. I worked in a old folks home, and that was the smell. I'm like, oh my god. So this was just like they probably had an exclusive deal with probably some assisted living facility somewhere.
There's one right across the street.
Yeah, they probably had like, hey, one of their old people wandered over there like, hey, if anybody, like, here's the thing, we're right across the street, and if someone kicks the bucket and their family says they don't want any of their useless crap, just haul it over to us and stink up our little residence. And they did.
And the people that were working there probably lived at the assisted living and got bussed over.
1 foot. Thank you. I'm glad you. I want to bring you there.
Yeah, here we are.
It's not. Here's the thing. The smell of Goodwill is fine. It's not great, but it's like if you're attentive and you're observant and you're clever, sometimes you'll hear, see, and smell the wafts of shit because they're roughly in 5-gallon carboys hung in the back of one of the on the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
And whatever, and this was just like straight up, like if you had to be like, if you had to create a smell, what's up, Allison Marie? Like you had to, like someone said here, imagine what dying smells like. It would be the inside of this thrift store.
Yeah, I was like thank God it doesn't smell like C. diff because that's worse, but this was bad.
It's terrible. Anytime you, like, whatever. We've all had family members in nursing homes that we didn't want to go to because we didn't like the nursing home or the people that were in them, like our family. And that's what it was. And like we ran the hell out of there. And that's the thing. It was like with Goodwills, you'll get a good mix of crap because sometimes a mom will throw away somebody's cherished collection of magic cards or whatever. You're like living on people's stupidity. But when you have an exclusive deal with a mortuary across the street where like they'll take all the false teeth and wigs after they want to burn up the bodies, no, I don't want to go back.
No, I'll never go back. Allison, no. So today's Darrell adventures is the sentencing hearing. So he will talk. I cut it down from 2 hours.
Let me start the show. Okay. We'll explain it because there's a little bit of. We'll do a little bit of unpacking because things are different.
We need some housekeeping.
I wouldn't call it housekeeping. Give me a second so I can make you look at this, and then I'll see you on the other side of this.
Dog. Cat. Mouse. Turtle.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Welcome to the show. My name is Dave, and this is FFOP Radio. It's Friday. We're doing a true crime thing. Darrell Brooks is coming up, but let me introduce you to my co-host and producer, Christa's over there.
I'm over here.
Off camera. Here we are for a special request from Melissa, or Melissa. It's spelled funny. Melissa G3111 wrote in and said, hey, let's see the Darrell Brooks sentencing. And I said, why the fuck not, right? Like, what else are we going to do? My list is 40 miles long, but we can keep... Here's the thing. It's like, I get why the radio plays the top 40, because those are popular. Like, we go back to Sarah Boone and we go back to Darrell all the time because they keep pumping out hits. They're not a free radicals. Like Darrell Brooks is fucking the Beach Boys and Sarah Boone is like the Beatles. And every time they step in front of the mic, we go, whoa, it's another hit. And then, some fat guy with a cigar, ashes into a bourbon and he goes, it's a hit, baby. And we do it again. So that's it. We're doing Darrell Brooks. Now, here's the thing. Because Darrell likes to pause to think of what he's going to say next, Christa edited out all the pauses, and I did a little watching of it just to see how it feels, and it feels weird.
It's weird, and
but it was also in the interest of time. But I only say it's weird because it's weird to hear him speak like conversationally instead of being like, first of all.
Yeah, so and his facial expressions are going to jump around and stuff because it's cut. I mean, there are it took me all week to cut down a 2 hour and 20-minute video to an hour and 19 minutes.
Right, so an hour of silence was cut out. Teacher question. I seriously questioned my IQ when I thought your wife's name was Kayla. And you called her Christa, then Kayla again. So Kayla is the moderator.
Yeah, moderator
Christa
Kayla
is here.
That's me.
If you see a wrench, that's Kayla. If you hear a voice, that's Christa.
Yes.
Easy to confuse them. If you hear a wrench, something's wrong, right? Also, so here's the thing. I got this adorable little Yeti mug. Look at his little butt. And Christa has the matching Bigfoot one. At Goodwill, $5 a pop. It's like $22 for the set. So we sanitize the hell out of them. And they're adorable. But here's the thing. Since they have feet that are hollow, they have the boot problem.
Yeah. So they make bubbles.
So you'll be hearing that. I would show you my hilarious fish stein, but I think I'm going to save that for when baked salmon's on the show because a salmon is like front and center on the thing, and I want to sort of tease a little bit.
Kayla gets a reigning champion sign.
Oh yeah, Kayla, check it out. I put another sticker. So it's a panda and a sloth sharing giant donuts.
Awesome.
I thought you'd like that. I love her, good woman. Don't worry about it. Everybody, here's the thing. Everybody's name starts with a K in my life somehow, and I've known somewhere around a dozen Davids. Like, it's fucking crazy. I had 2 uncles named David. My dad's best friend was named David. I went to the 5th grade with 3 other Davids in my class.
I have an Uncle David and a cousin David.
It's fucking crazy. That's why I go by Dervis now, because it's, easy to remember. And it's not so common.
And it's still weird for me. Like, David introduces me on the show and stuff, but it's still weird hearing him say my name in the wild. Like, outside of the show, because he doesn't...
I'm hiding in a bush and I'm shouting Christa at her.
He doesn't ever say my name. It's just he's always talking to me, or I'm Mom.
Right, we don't talk to. I mean, that's the thing. It's like
I say your name more than you say mine.
maybe you talk about me more, but I mean, I definitely when you're not around, I say your name a lot more because you're not here.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's the semantics of the life. Get my wax tablet and stylus out of the way. I was so desperate for it earlier. Hold on a second. All right, babies. Here we go. So again, just to Allison is such a bogus name. I swear everyone. Oh yeah, I went to school with a lot of Allisons and went to church with a lot of Allisons.
Yep. I know one other Christa.
But here's the thing. Would you rather be a David or an Allison or a John or whatever? Or do you want to be like Chlamydia or whatever? Do you want to have like a super obnoxious name? Do you want to be named after a Greek god or some other pantheon? Like, would you take Brahma or whatever?
I'd rather have a name that doesn't get confused with everything.
Here's the thing.
Like
it
Jessica.
doesn't matter because the moral of the story is like you're going to stand out flavor-wise. People will remember your name if you have a good, remarkable, or memorable flavor. I feel like people know my name for two reasons. Because I'm loud and they go, that's something to avoid.
Allison wants to be Norbit's wife, whatever her name is.
Wife?
I don't know what her name was. And Ryan would rather be a woolen shoe that fell off.
It never happens. I don't know where you'd be with that shit. Yeah, Norbit. Like, I'm watching Norbit. Are you kidding me? Huge Eddie Murphy head, you think I am?
So I like this judge. I like her. Oh, it was ignorant, she said.
It was ignorant. Yeah, I like this judge too. She's very accommodating. Like she's, generous to a fault, but all the judges have been. So we're just going to jump right into it. And I'll be stopping it, obviously, but like watch how this thing sings along without the obnoxious pauses.
Yeah, and I left a few, I left pauses that I felt like they were meant to kind of be there, or I cut the pause down from 20 seconds to like 4.
It's whatever. We'll get into it. It'll be it's going to be like starting a car in second gear. If you get that, if you drive a manual or if you never have, learn, God damn it.
Hey.
I'll turn it over to you then. This is your opportunity to address the court.
She's like Muriel Hemingway and Angelina Jolie had a love child.
I think she's pretty. Yeah.
She's very pretty. Boy, oh boy.
I do have a lot to say.
I do have a lot to say. When does he not have a lot to say? Like, what the? It's like saying jumbo shrimp. It's a fucking oxymoron.
Thomas is here. It's time for my most favorite weekend time internet radio talk show. Don't mind my lack of pants. This is how I show friendship and submission.
Hey, you don't see me from the waist down, so you don't know how we rock it over here.
It's true.
Stand up if I may.
Yeah, if you must. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to start first by giving glory to God. I believe in Jesus Christ wholeheartedly. I believe that.
I will see you tomorrow. Brian Maxwell,
Thanks for showing up.
thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. But isn't this weird at all the jump cuts?
I know.
It's not terrible. It's not like what you call. Oh God, cool.
Yeah, his first, into his intro into his sentencing speaking, he's like, God.
Yeah, like this isn't going to be a we're not going to interview AJ for shit business.
No.
It'll be real shit.
This is just
Son of
him.
God.
Cool.
I believe that he was sent here by the Father to die for all our sins, everybody.
Oh, cool. You name check my son too? Cool.
Cool.
Everybody in this courtroom today, everyone walking this planet, mostly for those of us who will believe. I believe that
Who
he was
will believe?
crucified on the cross of Calvary. He shed his blood on that cross.
Like,
He died,
legit.
He was buried, and he rose again after 3 days.
At every cut, there is at least 15 seconds of pause.
But isn't it? It's almost like he wrote this down and practiced it. Almost like it's a little clunky because of the chops. But this is how you should sound if you're
reading something.
Or no, like not if you're reading something. If you're fighting for your goddamn life.
Also that.
Nobody should be drowning in silence. And this is...
I don't
wild,
think
right?
he realizes what he is, quote unquote, supposed to be fighting for here.
No, he's an idiot. He doesn't know anything about anything. This is not only a fish out of water, it's a fish out of water on another planet who has to learn a different system of language before taking on that legal system.
He didn't know what concurrent, like later on in this, he doesn't know what concurrent means.
I stand by what I just said.
It's at the right hand of the Father. The Bible says that he was exalted.
Who's at the left hand, do you
Given
think?
the name
I
that is
forget.
above all names, so that the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow in heaven, on earth, and under the earth, and every tongue shall
All the
confess
earth.
that Jesus
I forgot what his
is Lord
defense
to the
even
glory
was.
of
He
God
didn't
the Father.
have one.
It was him.
It was his sovereign citizen bullshit where it was like
Jury nullification.
Jury nullification, prove jurisdiction of evidence or whatever. Like, it was just like, hey, I'm not who you think I am, and I don't...
And then the car thing with the
It was
recall.
bullshit with it was bullshit. It was all bullshit.
Yeah.
I was taught by my family.
And she'll put his shit
Something
to
I believe
shame
in my
later.
heart. A lot of references was made to one of the things I said.
I really wish
Regarding
God
my-
or Jesus would have taken a hot second to remind Darrell I can't read this.
They made a top 10 list of shit they hate, and murder is on it.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it, right? Is I don't know. I get why it's pulled out by everybody who's stupid, right? Because they go, well, now I found Jesus, and good news, bad news situation, right? Classic, like silver lining of the storm cloud. The storm cloud is, or rather, sorry, let's start with the good news, right? Because that's what everybody loves. Everybody loves a goodwill, come out on top story. So good news, I found Jesus, and I love Jesus, and I found God, and all that other good stuff. The bad news is I had to plow through over a dozen people to get there.
Right.
So, like, here's the thing. Like, nobody takes into account, like, the what would Jesus do on everybody's bracelet and key ring and shit before they do the crime. Like, after the fact, and only after they're caught and everything is laid bare before everyone and their mother will they go, like, well, Jesus help me after that.
Right. Yeah. Jesus. Come on.
Great. Yeah. My loss is your gain. It's like he's like a fucking reverse Crazy Yeti.
Being clear and having the time to think about it last night and to understand that the victims have the right to
He finally
feel how
understood
they want to
something.
feel. They have the right to their opinions and understanding that there's a lot of emotion, pain.
So he finally, at this point during sentencing, after the entire trial, he finally understands a couple of things. He understands that the victims have a right to their emotions.
Right.
The word right is tricky. It's like the word freedom, right? Because you can say, well, America is super free. You're free to do what the government allows you to do. Every government is like that. Nothing is really truly free because freedom is limited by the things you're allowed to do. Yeah. And the right is another thing. Like your right to bear arms or your right to health care, your right. If you don't get it and you can't make anybody give it to you, it doesn't matter how many times. It's like that idiot friend you have where, like, if you work 15 minutes overtime, but, like, they don't pay you for it, or you work a little bit off the clock and they go, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Like, that's the least... It's like the jailhouse paralegal. It's not even a jailhouse lawyer. It's like your idiot friend who, like, anytime there's any strife in the workplace goes, that's illegal. You're not getting enough time. That's illegal.
And, like, this sentencing thing is, like, the next day after they heard all of the victim impact statements.
Yeah, so after he probably got, like, a Larry Nassar style parade of heartache.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I understand now that murdering a bunch of people was wrong.
Yeah, because the judge...
If only Big JC could have found some time in his schedule before last night, as of this recording, to come tell Darrell that murder was bad. Right. Whoops. Like, where were you, Jesus? I'll tell you where. He was right here. Oh, did I turn it down?
I don't know.
Oh, Oh my gosh.
You started it over and you turned the sound. What did you do?
I don't know. This is all screwed up. Sorry, guys. Let me fix it. This is a completely different program that we're using, so I'm not sure how I'm doing it or if it's working, etc.
I think you might have muted it on the program.
Opportunity
There you go.
to address
You get minimal time to reflect.
Okay, shut up, Darrell. Give me a sec, Darrell. God damn it, Darrell. All right, here we go. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
started from the beginning.
Yeah, all the way from the beginning. Redo.
I mean, it only went, like, what, 10 seconds?
I haven't even mentioned a lull count yet.
This, but one of those minimal times that you get to reflect in a place like this is when you're alone in your cell, when it's just you and the.
Which is a lot. Like, it's not minimal. Like, when he wasn't in court, he was in a cell. Like, he wouldn't catch him at, like, a Fuddruckers after the fucking, like, day was over. It's like, hey, you know what? Break for lunch. Darrell, what do you want on your burger, buddy? Yeah? What? Quarter pounder? Third pounder? Or, you know what? Since you've been a good boy, half pounder's on the table. Yeah, right.
One of the victims made a comment.
Word for our media player.
Oh, how dare you.
Why this happened. That's
Word
the
is a
question I struggle
fine
with
media
myself.
playing product.
The why, the how. How could life ever get this, regardless of what a lot of people may think about me, about who I.
You know who isn't in jail right now like Darrell? Chris Chan. Yeah, isn't that crazy? But here's the... Okay, not to... Let me move this out of the way really
But
quick.
the mom didn't press charges, right?
She can't. She's senile, allegedly. This is all alleged.
Allegedly.
So no charges. Chris Chan is not living in his home, their home, her home, their home, whatever they go as now. They are not living in their home. They're in a group home, slowly filtering back onto the internet. And like, what the fuck is up with that? Like, this is the sad part of all these stories is after the arcs are over and after all the trolls have moved on and grown up. Yeah, you did it. Like, what do you do now? Their life is in shambles, and, and there will go, World of T-shirts and fucking Johnny Elbows and King Cobra JFS and Cyrax and all these other lolcows.
We're gonna get on TikTok. Is this the beginning still? Is this the...
Of course it is. I don't know.
Well, I want to make sure that it's not... It didn't go to the end for some reason.
We're not at the end. It's like, we're like a minute in.
Okay. No, that's fine. I wanted to make sure because I didn't know we were done with God.
About my beliefs. I know who I am. God knows who I am.
Okay,
God knows.
there we
I
go.
don't have any
We all know who
words
you
of
are.
anger, any shots, so to speak, to throw back. As I said before, I had to look inside myself and understand why the comments was being made.
I will refuse to insult the people prosecuting me for murder. Now, remember like 48 hours ago, I was shirtless and spitting and I was in a different courtroom because I was acting like a fucking animal? Johnny Elbows, right?
David showed me a video about Johnny Elbows, and then I looked him up on TikTok, and I was like, oh my God.
He's embroiled in a controversy because every lolcow has to just be into kids, right? So that's just life. King Cobra is the only one who isn't, I guess, allegedly, because they got to be alive, cisgender, non-related, willing. I don't know.
Right.
I forget the necessary six, right?
People feel the way they feel, and they have the right to. If I may.
You just need to turn forward.
Yeah, you need to talk to me about lolcows.
Respect. I think it's important to state why I did want to turn. Comment was made about this mask. It's something that I've worn the whole year of this incident. I'm not gonna say don't, but I don't feel like I needed to go in too wild. Chose to wear this. There are a lot of different reasons why.
I remember watching this whole trial live. I was glad to see Donisha get those 7 LWOPs in 700 years in the bank. Yeah, he gonna be queen of the block. Seriously, like
It's insane. Like, there are so few people, but now it's like, when like in the 80s there were like a handful of millionaires, or now if you like sneeze you could accidentally become a millionaire.
Yeah.
And now billionaires are the thing. Like, ridiculously cartoonishly large sentences were like
not necessarily, like, they weren't on my radar. They weren't necessarily a thing. But then, like, Nasser, Darrell, Holtzclaw, all these dudes rack up, like, millennia of time behind bars.
Yeah, he got 6 life sentences plus 700 and something years plus an extender of 300 and something years.
Horny on his nose.
She'll say it at the end of it. At the end,
just a wild amount of time.
It has nothing to do with hiding anything. There is nothing to hide. When
I was
you're
in
on
the
TV
car.
every
You could see
day,
me.
When your life is being dissected for the world to see, when your family's on TV every day in some capacity, when you're on pretty much every social media platform, what is there to hide from?
Marty is always offering you record deals, and you find out there is no record deal because there is no label. Bender Brothers, Bender Boys. Bender Boys, sorry, not Bender Brothers.
Each and every victim in this incident, family members, those who lost loved ones, those.
The bother about Darrell in prison is like, I want to imagine the sisters from Shawshank chasing him down, but in a few weeks his toughest fight is gonna be cold toilet soup.
Right, and that's the thing, right? Because
wow.
What?
There was a guy in Tulsa, Louisiana who got 1,100-ish years in prison for child
corn? Jesus.
He had
That's
that much.
insane.
That's a lot.
That is a hilariously long sentence. But whatever. Yeah, moral of the story is, like, in prison, it sucks. Like, you're always stressed. And we, as the, like, on the outside world, we go, well, they deserve worse. I can't imagine being in prison. Like, even the best prison I could get into would probably still suck.
Yeah.
Because you're in, whatever. I don't care how cushy it is. There's going to be, like, an economy that is unknown by the officials, but runs everything, whether it's via Fritos or hand jobs. It doesn't matter. You're going to live the rest of your life in debt to someone, or working for someone, or running from someone, or getting any number of things, man.
Allison spent one night.
Yeah.
Never again. Yeah,
just like
I
King
cannot.
Cobra JFS. Did you tell Christmas jokes?
God, I'm starving. We got any child corn back there?
Oh,
yeah.
those little corn niblets?
Honestly, I think death penalty is. Yeah, we've watched Life on Death Row or whatever, and, like, there's dudes who've got all the shit in their.
Right. That's the thing. We've talked about this before, and I don't get why, like, some people think, like, the worst punishment is, like, the biblical fury of death and old Sparky and all that. Because, yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, God. Like, you're a virgin, right? You're going to bang for the first time. And you've spent most of your recent history, 1 or 2 years, depending on how long you've been looking to get some, to get it, And the anticipation is great, but it's all in service of, because it'll be your first time, not a lot of time, right?
Right.
So it's like all this anticipation that you would, if you could, would stretch out for a very long time. And that's what prison is. Like, all of the sexual vigor that was going on allegorically here should then be drawn out in a very long prison sentence. Cartoonishly long, maybe?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Allison says, American prisons are shit. We don't rehabilitate anybody. We mix addicts with serious offenders.
Right.
Right. It's broken. And
it's a joke. But that's the thing. What is better? If you look at prisons over this country and any other, right? Like, the basic standards are pretty low. Like, as long as the floors are clean and no one's getting dysentery, everybody just sort of gives it a hand wave. And in every other third world country where it's like nut to butt, fucking 800,000 people where there was supposed to be a soccer field.
Yeah. John says, I was a corrections officer many years ago. I learned quick, prison ain't for me. It would suck more than a leech with an eating disorder.
Seriously. Like, oh my God.
I could never.
That's the thing. Like, people, you probably watching this have stress in your life right now, and you're not under constant lock and key. Like, you don't have a 5-minute shower window a day. You don't have anybody thirsting after your butthole. Asterisk. Maybe you do, and that's your thing, but it doesn't matter. The moral of the story is you're basically living the life you want to live, and your stresses and strains are your own, and you're basically fabricating them to keep yourself going. It's not like you're going to wake up one day dead, or someone's going to throw a sack over your head and beat your ass with a bunch of bars of soaps and a sock. Mm-hmm. You know? I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. We live in a town where there's like a couple prisons, right? There's like 2 prisons in our vicinity.
Yeah, Florence has a couple of prisons, and like on the way to Tucson, there's a couple of.
They're the same. They're the same. Not brand.
Well,
company.
There's a private one. There's some official government-owned ones, and then there's some private ones out here.
Yeah,
that are like,
I cannot imagine.
And they get people from all over. Like dudes from Hawaii end up in Arizona in a for-profit prison.
Yeah.
It's a wild thing that we do to one another.
Like, we know prison probably shouldn't be torture. We want it to be like Star Trek, where therapists and professionals fix everybody, but then we got a Darrell, and it's like, release the biggest boy.
Right? And here's the thing. Wouldn't it be great if it could just be like that episode of Outer Limits where David Hyde Pierce invents that machine? Because, like, a holodeck seems like a good idea in concept, but in principle and in execution, it's shit.
Oh, shit.
If you could knock somebody out and put a couple of electrodes on their head and give them a lifetime of rehabilitation in 17 seconds, like, because that's the thing. If you, I'm sorry to digress so much from all of this, but here's the thing. I've worked with a lot of dudes who've been in prison for a lot of violent crime. I used to be an electrician. And the thing is, the older a person gets, the more they realize what they are doing is essentially bad. No matter how shitty you are, moral of the story is, by and large, everybody shakes out at the end regretting their decisions.
Yeah.
And if we can pop something on somebody's head and throw them, like, or here's another touchstone, Bender from Futurama for the upgrade to get with the new robot. Same basic thing. You just get a little pop. It's 20 years of subjective time, 17 seconds objective time. You know, no butt stuff, no nothing. You just get rehabilitated. And for the price of what? I mean, for right now, it would be a huge cost for the technology and all the research. But, like, that's where we should have been going from the jump. But, like, prisons were a novel idea up until 300 years ago. Where it's like, well, what do we do with criminals? We lop their fucking heads off.
Yeah. Allison says Iowa has 8 male prisons and 1 female. Her sister got locked up for breaking probation, drugs. She shared a block with a woman who killed her kids. Like, make it make sense.
Right, and that's the thing. If you're in the minority, you're going to be just thrown in with everything else. Because, like, what do you do, right? But anyway, we're talking about Darrell.
No matter how you felt during this year, no matter how you felt yesterday.
No, it's not soaps in it. It's locks and socks. Where do you get the locks, right? They sell those at the commissary? I'll take one master lock, please. You're not going to hit your celly with it, are you? No. I want to keep them out of my toilet wine. I doubt it.
Community of Waukesha, I want you to know that not only am I sorry for what happened, I'm sorry that you could not see what's truly in my heart, that you cannot see the remorse that I have, that you cannot listen to all the phone calls that I've made to my family, that you cannot hear all the prayers.
But you could, because he's in jail and they're all recorded.
Right.
And they probably wouldn't help, so I wouldn't say that.
You cannot count all the tears that I've dropped in this year.
Oh, by the way, the cougher that has been here his whole trial is here at the
serial
sentencing
cougher
also.
never misses a day.
I'm guessing it's a victim. It's a victim's family member.
They got Kohl's in there.
Yeah, Kohl's.
Oh yeah, you think they got a Kohl's locker? They like a small Kohl's in the bag. You know, stores within stores are popular, so I could see a maximum security prison with a Kohl's, and inside of that a small Amazon pickup locker.
Padlocks are sold in the commissary or issued by the facility with a master key to open all of them.
Right, but like, Jesus H. Christ, I get like you want to offer them something of security, but it's amazing that locks are basically just bludgeoning devices by the very nature that they have to be bulletproof. It's like, if you, as absurd as if like, oh, I need to lock something up. Here's essentially a hammer, right? Like, holy shit. It's like nunchucks.
Very old by age standards, but I've been alive long enough to understand that a lot of people are comfortable with hearing what they want to hear, being told what they want to be told, and being okay with that. It's easy to accept what's on the surface. it's easy to accept what's being put out there. It's harder
Jesus
to
Christ,
pull
locks
back
and
the veil.
socks.
It's harder
Get you.
to
The one Dr. Seuss book they never released.
look deeper than the
Locks and
surface.
socks.
And regardless to the truth, I understand that there are many people that would never forgive what happened, and I hold no ill will towards them for that. I have to be okay.
Stand up, dude, not to hold a grudge against the people who hold a grudge against him for all the family members that he killed. Jesus Christ. Like,
Saran wrap. Damn.
yeah, if you just melt it, you can just essentially purify it
Harden
into a
it.
plastic. Yeah, I've talked to, let that go off again, but like, here's the thing. I worked with a dude named Angel. Chill dude. I never saw him raise his voice or get angry at anything anybody ever did around him. And I realized it was probably because he got it all out of his system, because he told me a story about one day he was playing handball in prison, him and his partner against these two other dudes. And out of nowhere, dude off the yard just slips into the court, slits one of his opponent's throats, and he bled out in front of him on the court. And he's like, we just had to leave because there was blood on the court then. And I was like, Jesus.
Damn. Was it Chris Angel?
It was Chris Angel.
The fact that people
was
were
Chris.
angry.
Yeah, he then hovered above the ground for a few seconds and flew off into the sky. Doves everywhere. It was amazing. Quincy prison handball champ. Yeah, you take out the competition, winner by forfeit is still a winner.
Yep.
Forever. I think it was clear with respects to how I'm viewed. I will not respond to those.
The video
comments
gets
in
a little
anger
weird.
Either. I want to also say that it is not me that can take any pain away, replace what was lost, give back joy, happiness, to so many other things that was lost that day. I think all that comes with belief in Christ. I believe that all that comes with time. It's a process. It's a process that we all have to go through. I noticed a lot of things that I've said over the duration of this trial where there's a lot of misconception. I don't consider myself to be
What he
a
said
man of God.
were a lot of misconception, people. So when he was screaming his ass off and claiming all this sovereign citizen bullshit, that wasn't him. That was us. Confusedly, something. I don't get what his argument here is.
He doesn't have one. This whole time, he's just talking. All he's doing is talking, and it's not.
I know, but the least he could do is like. I mean, here's the thing. If we were watching this with all the silences and stuff, it would be a totally different ball game because you would maybe that's it. I'm getting overly frustrated because he's not taking the time to think. So I'm thinking he's just blowing through all of these things.
Well, that's.
Oh my God, Fifi's? That is something I haven't heard since I was an electrician. Yuck.
But that's the thing about taking out the silences. But like, there would be no way we'd get through his entire thing if I kept them in.
But it's so, I don't know, it's so wild. But that's the thing, it compounds it too, because then you say at the end of that 45 seconds, this is what you came up with?
Yeah, right.
As an alien. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know, man.
There's times where the camera pans over to the state later in this, and they're just sitting there staring at him. Or one of them, the dude, is like trying to hide laughing because of like, what's the point?
Play this Dolt at 1.5 speed.
It's something that I'm learning with time, with faith,
with energy,
study. Lord willing, I will make it to that point at God's appointed time. Something that I'm learning. For anyone that doesn't think that I've spent time in the scriptures, even before this, you're mistaken. Passages were quoted from Romans.
I mean, technically, here's the thing. I went to Bible camp, so I can say that, yeah, I spent some time hitting the books, but I was mostly just getting my ass third-degree sunburned under no supervision. Where was Jesus
The
then?
wages of sin is death.
Burn
The
my
wages of
ass.
sin is death. That's Romans 6:23. A verse I'm very familiar with and I've read numerous times. Countless other passages are all passages that I'm familiar with.
I love
The thing
them all.
about
God damn, do I
Scripture
love the
is not
Bible.
only studying and reading it, it's about applying it to your life. Applying it. It's not about just reading it or being able to quote it. It's about living it. At times during this
Right, but again, like, hello? Like, all the aphorisms, like, it's pointless to close a barn door once all the horses have escaped, right? Like, there's no reason to keep harping on this, except for he keeps bringing up the fact that it's like, you know what, guys? You know, if it were me that were a victim, I would say that JC healed all my boo-boos. Like, that sucks, dude. Shut up.
Yeah.
doing all these proceedings, mostly trial, I've become frustrated at times. I want you, Your Honor, to know, I want the entire court to know that regardless to what you may think about those particular incidents, they were not personal. Being here throughout this year,
This video's insane.
The
I know.
constant learning how to deal with
It's just the dude who had a hard time working. Oh God.
Abel Lascano's witnessed
Oh,
name
yeah.
pronunciation when one of the big Bible stories, like up front, is Cain and Abel.
Right. Here's the thing. You can't take for granted like the pronunciation that you have anymore. Like you just have to sort of be okay with everybody saying it wrong or right or whatever. Because I always heard it as Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went to Lutheran churches up until I decided it wasn't for me anymore. But I heard Cain and Abel. But recently, someone like ran up my flagpole. They were Cain and Abel. Abel? Shut up. Abel.
learning how to
Yeah.
take everything in, what you see, what you hear, things being shouted at you, the threats, you know, everything that you have to deal with just being here. It was
Turn
like
each
a
other's
culmination. Sometimes you get so frustrated. because you
Frustrated.
feel like
What is up with fucking... Okay, here it is. Here's your lolcow reference, people. With criminals and lolcows. Mispronunciation of a one word. Frustrated. Frustrated. Not frustrated. Frustrated. It's like February. If you read it, it's pronounced February. But we just accepted it's
February.
said February.
Because why?
Because why?
Why
But-
the R?
nitpicky, but whatever. I always say February because it's the right thing to say, and I'm a needless nitpicker.
your hands are tied.
Yeah, and Judge Darrow, like she was every time the camera panned over,
Birds.
she was like legit, like looking at him and like not invested because we all know she already had her decision in her head. Like there
Right.
was no fucking way.
She puts on the checked on or the checked in face.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever been in a meeting at any job, you have a checked in face. You're checked in, but you're checked out.
Yeah, no, yeah,
February at the library.
Library.
Whoops, I mispronounced the right way.
like me, it's easy for me to get to that point.
I'm
And so they would
sorry
come
that the
out in
video is
frustration.
off
I take
from his
responsibility
audio.
for that and apologize.
I couldn't fix
to
it.
you, Your Honor, in the court. Nothing about it was personal. It was a
Let's forget tacit agreement. Let's not forget tacit agreement. That's the thing. Here, whatever. You'll die on the cross you die on. For some people, it's pineapple on pepperoni. For some people, it's the venomous versus poisonous conceptualization. For others, it's being driven insane by people who say things like arto body, arto repair. Stuff like that. Asbestos. These are the types of people who get stuck in some people's craws. I stick with the venomous poisonous thing because it comes up far less often, so it's less
Right.
irritating. And you get to point out and be smart. Because if you pronounce, or rather, if you correct someone's pronunciation, they just think you're an asshole. But if you go, no, actually, poisonous is ingestible while venomous is injectable. You can go, good news, you learned something, fuckwit. But if you say, well, it's not February, it's February. They go, shut the fuck up. I'm just standing in line at Michael's to get some styrofoam balls. Fuck.
I haven't been able to defend myself. And I think it was
Tacit agreement.
hot boiling over. I was wrong for not being able to control myself the times that I wasn't me. For as long as I can remember, I've dealt with
Like behind the wheel of a car?
issues. And going back to what I said.
He's got a lot of mental health issues he brings up.
Don't we all, right? Here's the thing. Given the right proclivity and the right gullibility or the right circumstances, anyone can get diagnosed with anything. And the reason I say that is because people who did not have disorders got shit tons of Vicodin out of doctors. So how hard would it be to just fudge it or play it up or over dramatize or whatever?
Yeah.
Like being a sufferer of mental illness myself, like documented and diagnosed, like what do you do with that?
Yeah.
What's the currency there?
Right.
Sure, we all have something that you could probably say, like, yeah, that's an illness of a mental sort that, given whatever, could clear it up. But again, it's. I feel like I'm that person who's like, well, it's not like, I don't care if you're beaten as a child, you're not going to be a criminal. That, like, I might be the straw man on the other side of the argument here, but it just feels like anyone can fall back on mental illness because it seems like a catch-all, especially because we're at a nexus of almost, maybe not, but sort of understanding something, but probably not. And that's the most dangerous place to fucking be. Like, it's not the 80s where it's like, no, you're not mentally ill, you're just super sad.
Yeah.
And they just write it off. We're at the pivotal point where it's like, we are on the right track where we understand the working mechanical and chemical relationship between mind and body, but we're in that era of like COVID where their government's handing out money, so everybody is like, yeah, hey, come on, barrel up. The DSM-4 is now the DSM-5, 6, 7, and 8,
Yeah.
and holy shit, get yourself some pills.
Oh, yeah. Right. And
We
you make
haven't-
yourself like a zombie. There you go.
We went from like, no, you're just sad to like, whoa, everything's a problem. And we're going to have to find the the newest MDMA is tanquias.
Yeah. I love orange Tic Tacs. Thomas is like, let me get some orange Tic Tacs, John. Out of orange. Got plenty of tan Tic Tacs shaped like
People
Kias.
feel
Like Kias, like the Kia Soul?
Square.
A lot of people don't understand what it is to battle mental health.
Oh, the
issues.
Sportage. That
Not
would be a
just
pull.
That, but the difficulties of life in general, the childhood I had.
Yo,
not having
shut
a
up.
father, having
He
to
goes
see
off
my
on a mental
mom
health
sometimes
tangent.
work 2 and 3 jobs.
Here's the thing. If some of your victims are children, you can't be like, whoa, my childhood was rough. Guess what you stole from somebody?
Sisters
Oh,
You
yeah.
won't know how theirs are.
passed away.
Oh,
I
here
remember
we
being
go.
A child and me and my sister and my mom standing in the welfare line to get milk, to get cheese, bread, spam.
Other
when you're
food.
a kid, you don't understand that. You think normal. I remember living in apartment buildings infested with rodents and bugs.
Was that what was going through your head, Darrell, as the people that were stuck on the hood of your car were screaming in agony and you had to reverse and,
Maneuver,
accelerate
yeah.
multiple times to, like, knock them off, like dirt off your shoe? Like you were thinking about all the food stamps as you were running over the children, like, oh, God, there are bugs in my apartment. See you later, hopeless Christmas orphans. You fucker.
Mm-hmm.
bowl and having bugs in it.
Saw a bug in my pantry and now I got to kill
A lot
people.
of people weren't raised like that, so it'd be hard for them to.
I once ate an entire box of breakfast bars that were utterly moldy and I didn't find out till the last bar. Who did I kill? Nobody. I had a toaster that was so full of roaches every morning I had to wake up. It wasn't my toaster. I was living with a friend at the time. It was their toaster. But I would pick it up and drop it 3 feet off the ground and knock as many other roaches as I could out before I made toast in it. I didn't kill anybody.
Gross.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Physical abuse, by the people that are supposed to love you. Trying to understand why your mind thinks the way it does, why you don't comprehend certain things.
Yeah, you motherfuckers had Quaker oats. We had fucking Quacker oats. Couldn't even afford Quaker. They weren't steel cut. They were copper cut.
Why no one can provide the answers that you want. Fact of the matter is, I have at times been medicated.
Great.
I have been in mental health facilities.
Cool.
Only for a short time. I can honestly say that life was better. It helped. I think when you're going through something mentally that you don't understand, it always helps when you have people not so much that can relate.
Objection.
That also helps, but it's more. It's not the relating part of it. It's more of the that you can feel comfortable being yourself with.
So check it out, Darrell. You had these things and you felt better on them, admittedly, during the sentencing of your multiple homicide.
After you've already been convicted as guilty.
What point are you trying to make? Like, it was going so good, you said, fuck it, I'm gonna murder some people on Christmas? Here's the thing. Nobody wants... Like, this is a fucking Sarah Boone move. Like, this is in the same genre. It's not like, oh, I'm a straight A student, but like, hey, I was doing everything right up until I went and murdered a bunch of people. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Because the past dies, right? Once it's over, it's dead. And so it doesn't matter how many charities you gave to or cookies you baked in the name of Jesus. Once you murder your first child and then the 14 others after that, like, all those snickerdoodles mean nothing now. Hello?
Right. John says, delay of trial, 10-man prison train on the defense. Repeat, second down.
Seriously.
This dude was crazy-ass Bart Simpson hair who defended himself, and he screamed the whole time. Right. Now he knows he's guilty. So, but, like, he's just talking. Like, he doesn't know what he's trying to defend himself in now.
This is simply... Like, and that's the thing. There's no subtext. There's no plain text. This is simply Darrell Brooks receiving attention for any reason and him lapping it up by coming up with literally any syllable that will make sense in the order he has said them. Mm-hmm. This isn't like he's not making a plea. I don't see any...
He's not trying
tactic. There's
right.
nothing going on. It's just like, hey, here's some things that appeal to a human emotions. People, by and large, if they're white, they love Jesus, and I bet his jury is white. He's in Wisconsin. People love Jesus. People love a hard luck story. People love being sad. People love an underdog that comes out on top because he was doing everything right, but then he murdered a parade. Whoops!
Someone to listen.
We gotta do Ronnie O'Neal, whoever that is.
To tell you that
Bart Simpson hair.
Hey, it's all right.
I'm sorry. I don't know people by names unless I watch their interrogations more than a dozen times. I'll look into it.
Mm-hmm.
Your guard down. It's a lot.
Just quick look him up. All right. God damn it. The hell's this dude's name? Matt Willis? No. Ronnie O'Neal.
Ronnie O'Neal. For a visual.
Like I said, believe what they
want.
The third? That's okay.
Let's see. Riverview Murders. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, I know this motherfucker. He's the guy who, like, shouted at his own children. He's Darrell Brooks with the volume knob cranked up to 11 and broken off. Mm. And on top of that, he has the fucking stupidest hairdo in the world.
Yeah, they call it the Bart Simpson hair is what Allison keeps saying.
It's worse than Bart Simpson. It's like, not Bart Simpson. It's like Lisa on top and like Skullet on the back. Bart Simpson had it high and tight. This fucking idiot has like, what was his doppelganger? Like after, because like like Bart and Lisa couldn't solve something, and so it was like Larry and their doppelganger. This is fuck this dude. Why did you make me look him up?
What
I hate that
on
guy.
November 21st, 2021
I hate Ronnie O'Neal.
was not an attack. It was not
It's okay, Elson.
planned, plotted.
Premeditated.
Constantly hear that.
It was post-meditated.
Perpetuated. Constantly pushed. Constantly pushed. Constantly pushed. You wonder why. Why?
Because you
This
did.
was not an attack. This was not.
Okay, it was a little funny when they kept telling him to shut his shit down. But here's the thing. He should have been treated like Darrell Brooks. He should have been removed from the courtroom and put in a gag or a spit collar and like muted and unmuted like they did
Timeout
Darryl here.
room.
I don't, because he only did, I think he only, oh God, I'm trying to remember his crime. I think he just killed the mother of his child, if I'm remembering this correctly, and injured his child and then put that child on the stand and was his own lawyer and horrified them beyond belief.
Good. He was his own lawyer. Perfect.
But he wasn't like so many. Oh, his kids too. Yeah. So, okay. So he was just, he was a family annihilator, but he wasn't a Christmas parade annihilator. So that's probably why they didn't treat him with kid gloves so they could throw him away for 5,746 years. Yeah, the daughter survived. I thought it was the son.
Thomas said the son survived.
I thought that's what I thought. I thought the son survived because he was on the stand. Yeah, it was the son.
Thomas knows better.
No matter how many
Fucking
times
crazy.
you say it over and over.
And then he had to say, like, you stabbed me and you stabbed mom.
Aw.
That dude should fucking fry for making his fucking kid get up on the stand and say that?
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I guess the sheriff that showed up to the scene adopted the son.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the good things. Is like, thank Christ for, like, those shining examples. But, like, Jesus Christ, like, if they would have opened up a lottery for who get to pull the switch on old Sparky, if they were doing, like, if we lived in barbaric times, you better believe my name would have been in that raffle. Oh,
This, the guy, prosecutor,
I have a lot of-
never moves.
And this-
Like, he sits in that spot.
Has
He's
nothing
like a
to do
lizard.
with
The only time that he moves is when he has to cover his mouth because
the
he's
families
laughing.
of the victims. And as a matter of fact, I'm grateful that they had the opportunity to voice their opinions and their frustrations.
Thank God the victim statements happened.
Because I believe and hopefully that will alleviate some of the wounds.
They shouldn't have to make the statements in the first place.
right. Like, if you come out and, like, your car's demolished because some dude was driving drunk through the parking lot and smashed into it, like, sure, laying into him with a verbal tongue lashing will make you feel a little better in the moment, but the shit is still fucked.
Yeah.
Yo.
I could never point a finger at them and say they're wrong for what they said, their opinions, how they feel.
Yeah, with all this Ronnie talk, Darrell's a stand-up guy. I don't know about that, but, like, I don't know, man. Here's the thing. Like, if you walk into a Baskin Robbins, right, 31 flavors, what are the 2 flavors you don't want? Pistachio and fucking pralines, butter pecan or whatever? Yuck. Pick whichever one of these knuckleheads you want to be either scoop. Nobody is touching those 5-gallon drums until that store closes.
I won't do it now and I won't do it ever. They're well within their rights.
Sort of bite Darrell's face.
It's like
how
a
they
bad
feel.
guy from Red Dragon.
I felt a lot of frustration and anger yesterday, not towards
Right, the
any of
bailiff behind Darrell is classic. I
Yeah.
love that dude.
Miss Susan L. Opper.
That bitch.
And I won't even throw shots back at her. Again, I choose.
Just real quick, the fucking photographer just throw it like
Yep.
you can't see the mouse, but like there he is, just like, yeah, just another day at the office. Like, I want to know, what is he getting paid by the hour? Is he getting paid by the photo? Because at this point, like, what else is there to take a picture of? Like, he blew up 1 million times, right? He got removed 1 million times. So now it would be like if you whip open the 1994 Marvel Universe collector's card set that I have behind me now, and every third page was just all Wolverine. Like, we saw it all. Like, dude, put the cannon away, drop that monopod, and like fucking do some artsy shit. Move around the courtroom. He's been posted in that spot the whole time we've seen him.
They might not be able to get up and move around.
No, he's a lazy bitch.
In spite of the clear language that was used by her, not gonna fire back.
Why, when I look at her now, does she look like a baby bird who like sees her mom in the distance and is like really hankering for those worms?
She's
right?
exhausted. She looks
Holy
exhausted.
Shit. Yeah, not only that, but she's like, God damn it, where are those goddamn worms? Holy shit.
I'm not gonna do that. Am I angry? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
For what, bitch?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I got 99 problems and a life sentence is one.
Or 6.
What? One, but there are 6.
So what?
He's not a good rapper.
When it boils down to it,
Hell yeah.
the whole
Who did that? God damn it. Hell yeah. I feel like I heard that all the fucking time from somewhere. Get at me, people.
team had a
Remember
job
it for
to
me.
do. Can't be mad at somebody for doing their job.
Yeah, John, that's rough.
Attorney Daisy, Attorney Witchild, I respect you guys.
DMX,
Regardless
probably.
of what you may
Ja
feel about
Rule.
me, I respect.
Hell yeah. That's how it sounded in my head. So it wasn't DMX, because DMX would be like, hell yeah. And like, that would be Ja Rule. DMX, no, it's got to be like,
I think
it's not from a song. It's like from a pop cultural thing.
I'm pretty sure, wasn't Ja Rule in a Steven Seagal movie? And I'm pretty sure he
Hell
said
yeah.
that to Steven
He
Seagal
was
in that movie.
The one where he goes to prison and the helicopter falls through the thing. God damn it. Give me my Steven
They're
Seagal
in the big
binder.
prison.
Give me the binder. God damn it.
No.
I really do.
That's a good chick. Remember
I
that?
respect you
DMX?
too.
Not
Attorney
DMX. That
Alfred.
was Ja Rule.
DMX just grunts.
Difference
Yeah.
between all you guys is you, Attorney Opera, I don't respect how you did your job, and I never will.
They're all taking the high road.
I'll never respect how you prosecuted me, bitch. How dare you? Tell people my name is Darrell Brooks. I represent a third party who couldn't be here due to legal obligations somewhere else.
But I refuse to get in a name calling. I refuse
Hell
to raise my
yeah.
voice. I refuse to do any of that. And I realized that last night.
Ask me about my wiener.
The part of me that I don't understand why it goes the way it goes had every intention to come in here and lay into you.
Here's the thing. You cannot give a talk to a jury of people that now knows you murdered a bunch of people. Like, you can't be like, this kind of feels like a gambling talk that a veteran would give a rookie, right? Like, they're at the bar. This is a poker player who's seen his fair share of hands, who's like, hey, man, you got to blah, blah, blah. You just got to roll with it and go with it. It's up, blah, blah.
Well, the jury's not even there, right? This is the sentencing hearing, so this is all about the judge.
Well, then whoever, I don't care who the audience is. It's just like this wisdom coming from nowhere that means nothing, but it said, that's the thing. Everything he says is artifice. It's what he thinks, again, he's an alien. It's what he thinks humans identify emotionally with. And it's like the tone and motif. He's like a fucking cliche. He's a gothic novel. He's a dark and stormy night in a gothic castle covered in spiderwebs and bats. There's nothing new about him. There's nothing intriguing. But the fact that he's hitting the same notes over and over again, it's almost like a satire of something that's been played out to the nth degree.
Yeah.
It's like if someone were to satirize a speedrunner's ability to wring every bit of joy out of a game. Like, we're so fucking deep. I can't believe it.
Out of frustration
And
and
it's
out
not
of the fact of feeling that I needed to
Daryl.
defend myself.
Tamisha.
Darnisha,
sorry.
queen of the 7 blocks, first of my name, sitter of the steel toilet, handler of the prison eggplant. Bow down, peasant.
Yo, like, those... here's the thing. Prison toilets look terrible, but if I had, like, the money... That's the type of thing I would install in like a half bath just to fuck with my house guests. Like if I had two full baths, right, that I would give I would say, oh, go to that one. But if I had like a laundry room bathroom or like a downstairs like basement bathroom, I would get one of those double steel seatless toilets that have the sink right above it. And I'd be like, yeah, it's down the stairs, then just hang a quick right, and you'll feel like you're in prison.
How you had the audacity to speak on situations that had nothing to do with this tragedy, as if you were there, as if you had intimate details, as if you knew everything that
Objection,
led up to
speaks
those
to prior
allegations.
acts.
Who knows that they weren't there? To be honest, if it was in the same
I doubt
county
the
at the
prosecutors were there for the incidents that he's talking about. That's the thing. Don't think that he's like, no, they weren't there. He's saying that they weren't physically there. This is the jailhouse. It's not even a paralegal. It's like the jailhouse intern where he goes fucking like, you weren't even there. Like, he's saying they weren't physically within 3 feet of him striking the person or doing whatever to them. And that's the out of every fucking idiot. Is like, well, you weren't there. It's the same. You'll hear it shouted here all the way back in time on the Jerry Springer show where you go, you don't know me, you don't know me. That's what that means. It's like if you have plausible deniability if you're a scumbag or a lolcow because you go, you don't know me.
Situation is unique in his own way. It all has different
Subject matter
circumstances
jurisdiction. Thank you. I finally
that leads to ultimately
remembered.
what ends up
Yes.
happening. Reading the police report doesn't give you the right to pass judgment on a situation that, frankly, is none of your concern.
Look at the dude.
He's like, is this over
Obviously.
yet? Does the lady in the middle look like a little bit like Catherine O'Hare? Like she's Catherine O'Hare's, like the mom from Beetlejuice's cousin or something, right?
Yeah, that's her job. It's what they paid her to do.
That is a good point, Thomas. It is literally her whole fucking job is to pull apart your entire life to prove her case.
Totally
She
her
did it.
concern. Yeah, they did it.
She fucking nailed it. I mean, thousands of years you got.
For someone that's been doing your job as long as you have,
Because you're old.
you would think you would understand that.
But I'm not going to fire
You would
shots.
think
This is right before her head was exploded by a basketball thrown by a robot in a girl's body.
that
If you get that reference,
you
put a
have
101 in the
some
typing
kind of
square.
integrity. Even with that, I'm not gonna bash.
Even with
I'm
that.
not gonna say anything disrespectful. I'm not gonna call you anything other than.
Except for the
God
earlier
given
stuff
that.
I was saying about you.
As far as the integrity,
Bitch.
though, I won't
Whoops.
ever be able to wrap my head around why you did things the way you did it.
Here's the reason why they did things the way they did it. Because literally everything that's based upon law or has any relevance to the legal system makes it in a book that makes it behind some stuffy asshole, and that's why we're here.
Here we are.
The legal system is not like Guy X's Dungeons and Dragons, where however often, they refine the manual, get rid of extraneous rules, and really streamline the fuck out of it. And the reason why they don't do that is because who gives a fuck, number one? It's government work, so the bare minimum counts most, number two. And number three, if they did that, like let's say in a perfect scenario, humans got their shit together, we wiped out all those funny laws where it's like, you can't wash your mule on a Wednesday afternoon in the middle of town in Missouri. Like, if we got rid of all the stupid shit that's as absurd as that, but, all the stuff that actually is unnecessary, then how would people like Darrell or whoever get 47, 76, 112 charges out of one single act that takes place over 14 seconds?
Right.
Or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's in nobody's best interest within that system to refine it, because it's so much better to be like, hey, we could hit you with the one big thing, but wouldn't it be cooler if we could spend roughly 3 days, business days rather, going over just your charges, and then in the middle of all those, we're taking lunches and breaks and sleeping. And then after all that, then we'll sentence you. But before that, you'll get 2 hours and they'll get 2 hours and I'll take my 15 minutes and I'll proselytize ethically and morally at you. If this were a factory, Ford would have fired you all.
Right. Thomas says, Opper spent her life studying to be a professional lawyer, struggled, rose to the rank of district attorney for a state, and her nemesis is some sloppy meth head who ran over people on 100 cameras.
Right?
John says, I would give my left pinky toe to watch a video of a cell entry into Darnisha's cell.
Oh, shit.
Like using the electronic capture shield, then 4-point restrain him.
Well, which is crazy, too, because just to circle back to Thomas's point really quick, it would be like if Batman had to face, like, the dude who habitually steals 40-ounce cans of Steel Reserve from his local beer cave at the Circle K and occasionally has, like, beer diarrhea, and so that's an added charge. But that's Batman taking care of that, right? Batman. Like, the Batmobile's involved. It's $1 billion industry to come and bust a dude who shit himself in a beer cave for a Steel Reserve?
A reference to this being an open and shut clay.
Clace. Sorry. Objection.
Yet you needed a whole team to prosecute an open and shut case.
State usually has a whole team.
I didn't have a single person on my team. Just this guy. Not Darrell Brooks. I represent him. I'm a third
party.
But hey, what's up with that, bitch? I'm not going to dog you. I'm not going to badmouth you. But you had to have a whole team to take on this big dog? Shut up, Darrell.
Respect to.
Here's my prepared speech now, Darrell. Right, as they all like snuggle into the 7th chapter of the paperback book they all brought.
Yeah.
Not from you.
That's where the dude's like hiding his face from laughing.
He's like, yep, got a mustache comb going on here.
Well, yeah, you did say 31
Katie
years.
Lang still intact in the back.
Yeah.
You've done this 31 years.
You old bitch. I mean, sorry.
Yet, I respect you having the resolve to take on something of this magnitude.
So close to retirement.
Of this magnitude. Again, it was like opening and shutting a door.
Yeah.
The simplicity of this was breathtaking.
Like
it's not
as much as their business.
Right. This isn't Danny Glover going like, I'm too old for this shit because he's having to jump over cars and there's explosions and they're picking glass shrapnel out of his fucking face. This is like she wakes up, rolls out of bed, and the hardest part of her day is having to sit through you talking.
Right. Good night, winter moderator Kayla.
Good night, Kayla. Enjoy your week on the board.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, seriously, it's like Darrell is taking the fact that nothing can be taken for granted in a system of law. Like, the police will tell you, any lead you give them, somebody has to chase down.
Right.
So the fact that they're like, look at how much time they spent going over the bullshit I gave them. Like, who would do that? I was lying. Like, that works in your favor?
Now, y'all, would have been hilarious is if someone appeared on Zoom to speak on Darrell's behalf, but instead they promoted their new album. Yo, this DJ Dipstick got the album coming out spring 2023.
Shit. Yeah, could you imagine, like, if this... Just some Yahoo from fucking Wisconsin being like, yo, dog, like, imagine how fast that shit would be cut. And, like, just seeing her, like, the judge's head in her hands. Like, remember in, what was it, Naked Gun, like, 2.5 or 33 and a third, where everybody, like, in a stadium hits their forehead at the same time? Fucking crazy. DJ Dipstick just dropped.
Can't do nothing but respect that.
Yeah, no, she looks like she's going to go knock him, like, punch him in the face.
Regardless, when I leave this courtroom, I will have no ill feelings.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're going to be in jail. So.
She's like, who cares?
I know this is being...
Something about... Here's the thing, people. I don't pay attention to literally anybody's face but their eyes, because that is the most important part. And what she just threw his way scared me. And this happened up months ago? Ugh.
Strange. I believe even in other countries. I've gotten some mail from Germany.
Oh, yeah.
Belgium.
A lot of it hate mail.
The muscles from Brussels wrote me, called me a dickhead.
A lot of them hate mail, but I stopped reading it.
Really affect me. It's irrelevant.
Unnecessary dick pics, like physical pictures of dicks. They were paper. I was like, what the fuck?
I would love if I had, he had ill feelings. If I was Opera, I'd friend him on Facebook and be like, LOL, Darrell just got tonight.
Hashtag no ill feelings. Feelings.
As far as those who take the time
to get murdered,
spend the energy and money to write and spew hate, not just against myself,
but other locales like Sarah Boone.
I have no value.
Like, I appreciate that, like, the people send him hate mail because, like, yeah, like, you're a fucking monster. But like, his family, I don't like that people go after his family.
Lives in Germany? That's weird.
and Belgium.
But but here's the thing,
if that's true, I don't like that.
It is definitely true, but here's the thing, he's a lolcow. And before lolcows were a thing and had a name and were on the internet and were like farm animals, this is what people do. Like, there would be, you could write letters to the prison, you could write letters to the person or to the news, and you could just be a troll IRL. Like, trolls predate the internet.
Yeah, and like
in our fairy tales.
And there's a part in this where he says, like, basically one of his baby mamas, I think it was the one that he may have hit, was like, she wouldn't go and like spend time with his family because of threats and stuff, and she didn't feel safe in the town that they lived in because of all this stuff. Like, that's his fault, but they shouldn't be getting shit for it because they're not who did it. I
take this for what you will. It may be controversial, but since no one was raised in a vacuum, I don't feel terrible when a terrible person's presumably terrible family gets shit for doing a shitty job.
Yeah, but if it affects kids who don't have anything to do with it.
But that's the thing. There's a bunch of
caveats.
Issues. There's a bunch of caveats. Like, if somebody wants to send Darrell Brooks's mother, who, pulled out a Maya Angelou poem, some nasty shit, fine, whatever. But like, that's the thing. Trolls aren't sniper rifles.
Right.
Trolls are bouncing Bettys, and they'll bounce a couple of times and they'll injure a whole bunch of people.
Right.
It's just the way it
On
is.
the next episode of MTV Cribs, we see the home of hot rapper Queen Darnisha. Front seat is the dining room and kitchen.
Yo, here's my toilet. When I turn around slightly, there's the sink. Luxury, lap of luxury Darrell's living in.
Me. Keep up the bad work. To everyone else,
Keep up the bad work.
The people that have sent letters of support.
What the
thank you
business?
for that, because it's not an easy thing to show love and support to someone who's the most hated man on the planet at this point right now in time.
I mean, even in his shittiness, he's got to show grandiosity. The most hated man on the planet? Probably not. I wouldn't even say top 10. Hated, yes. Like, who do you think you are, Darrell? Like fucking, like Sarah. Like, oh, 14 million people are seeing me. I'm like, ugh. Oh my God.
It takes a lot of courage to do that. I thank you for that. My family thanks you for that. I want to say to the mother of my children,
The one I hit.
the mothers, excuse me, of my children, obviously I think you.
Not that I agree with this stereotype because it feels very 50s, but like multiple, I don't know, it feels very old timey to me when you say the mothers of my children. I don't know. I don't want to be like old timey Dave and be like, oh, what a harlot. But on the other hand, like, what the fuck? Like, kids aren't something you can just jump into. I only had one, and I'm keeping it that way because it's a lot of fucking responsibility. And to just toss it out, be like, the mothers of my multiple children who, P.S., don't look into my involvement in their lives. Yikes. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy who's like, shape up, grandpa, but like, what the fuck, dude? Like, as a dude, I understand how easy it is to like leave something and then just fuck off.
With the Erica Patterson, I want you to know, if you're watching, I always have love for you. You're one of the mothers of my children. I can never hate you. I refuse to go that route. Always have love for you. I always respect you. We got a beautiful daughter. I haven't always been right in the things that I've said.
Almost
things
never,
I've done
some would
in
say,
regards to
probably,
you.
allegedly.
What I will say is, it always takes two. I pray that at some point.
That's so annoying that he gets to like count that as a win, as a small win. Because, yeah, like that's the thing. For some things, it does take more than one party to give agreement. And if both people are stupid, only one technically has to live with the lasting remnants of it, at least in this situation. And then for him to be like, yo, like, it's so great. I love my daughter, but like, I mean, there are other baby mamas, and I love them too.
He
so
has
that's
4 children, all from a different girl.
Darrell loved me.
Woman.
I think I'd throw myself in front of a train.
Yeah.
4 people were able to take from that golden corral, if you will, and not.
Foul with your children, and that you remember who I am here in my heart, that you remember that. My oldest.
But I hope you forget all the times that I was belligerent and was removed from the courtroom for being a total asswipe. Remember the good Darrell? Not the Darrell from 14 seconds ago, but the Darrell from before you knew me.
Hey, he's got mental health issues.
I got mental health issues, multiple ladies, tons of kids. I'm a pillar of the community. Half of the kids in school are mine. Like, dude, I'm not trying to like shame a lifestyle or whatever, but like trying to kickflip things, like in a court of law is what I'm getting at, because like the court is nothing but something that is entrenched in heritage. I don't want to call it nostalgia, but it's like It's something that's like traditional. Mm-hmm. And to be like, yeah, my multiple wives and multiple kids and all the crazy things I do, it just feels like, I mean, even the staunchest person, like in a setting of this, even if they do have multiple wives themselves, would be like, that's illegal, guilty, or whatever. It just doesn't, I don't know. Maybe all the SVU I've watched has warped my
Probably
mind on like what reality is, but like every time I think what I would believe, somebody in the cast goes, the jury's not buying it, or the jury's buying a hook, line, and sinker, and I go, who? I'm a human. I don't buy this.
His mother, beautiful, beautiful spirit. I thank her for the times that she was there to listen when no one else was, when I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on in life, and I was being pulled to this direction or that direction.
Damn.
Where do you think he's finding phone books, John? What year is this? This isn't the Lauren chat log. Like, he didn't go to MSN and print that shit out. This thing is a phone book. This is 2018 or whatever. Like, there's no phone books. He would have to go, like...
Hey, Wisconsin might still have phone books.
No, like, he would have to go to the entire state of Wisconsin to get everybody's white pages, and even then, he'd probably be 3 inches too short still.
Just couldn't.
It's got a tiny wiener, I bet.
He's standing on all of his Bibles.
Oh, yeah, all those municipal Bibles from the jail. That might help.
Times where I had nowhere to go. She would find me in the back of abandoned cars or trucks or some of that nature.
What, like, was she dumpster diving for you, Darrell? Like, was your relationship like you were garbage? Like, you were the thing that someone threw away at the JCPenney's and she was like the person who's like, I see the value in this. Like, constantly finding you in the back of abandoned cars and trucks? What? Can you, anyone in your life, imagine them in the back of a truck or an abandoned car and you have to find them. Yeah, in abandoned cars.
Hey, man, he's got mental health problems. She knew his normal locations where he would go and he'd have his mental health problems.
This isn't like taking place in Detroit, right? This is Wisconsin. It's like Waukesha County. It's not like there's acres of empty buildings and cars that you can just jump right into. Like, what the fuck?
Wait. Wait.
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
You know, it's a lot of people, a lot of good people.
They had a good day when he went and hid.
Having a good day.
She's one of them. I thank you, Angel.
There's something to this.
I'm
Sarah
saying
Boone and Darrell Brooks.
Darrell Brooks and Sarah Boone are so... I mean, they're similar, but they're so different. I mean, she's the blue-eyed white devil, and he's Darrell Brooks. And, like, she went through a zillion lawyers and might be getting some unfair treatment, whereas like Darrell has been given every latitude.
Right.
But they still act like complete fucking monsters.
That's their name too, by the way, Angel. When I was...
It's kind of like Kennedy and Lincoln, where Lincoln's secretary was Kennedy and Kennedy's secretary was Lincoln, and they were both blah, 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 blah. Darrell Brooks, Sarah Boone. If this was the 90s pre-internet, you could probably buy a book at Borders about, you know, Sniglets about it for $4.99.
Sniglets at Borders.
Couldn't sit still. Couldn't make decisions. Trying to figure out how life would go being young parents.
Sounds
I'm sorry, Darrell. Did you think that you wandered into a therapist's office? Like you're in a prison jumpsuit, my dude.
Never once ridiculed me and downed me because of my issues. She always was willing to be there. I'm eternally grateful for that. Jessica, my youngest daughter's mom, I believe
this is the third
the
one.
reason why God puts anyone in your life at the time that he does. You came into my life at a time where everything was chaotic. I didn't have a clue.
If you think about it, Opper came into your life at one of those times. You guys should bang.
And have a baby.
Real ugly babies.
In front of the other. You came into my life at a time where I was pondering, what did I even have to live for?
Yeah, thank God for that, right? Like, here's the thing. If you're a fucking murderer, never bring up any, like, false, true, or anything in between. Any ideations.
Yeah,
ideations of self-immolation or anything like that.
right.
Because if you go, like, you were the one who taught me through the hardest time where I thought I wouldn't be a thing anymore. And you go, well, what the fuck, bitch? Because here we are on the other side of that rainbow, and 14 people are dead. Mm-hmm. So when you go through that thought experiment of the trolley going down the track where it's one person on the one side and 14 people on the other, you made the wrong decision.
Right.
Arguably, right? Whoops.
John says, well, orange is the new black,
How
so
dare
that's
you.
his little black dress. Just needs a blonde mop wig and Kool-Aid lipstick.
Hey, mops are pretty attractive, according to some. RJ.
Thomas says Darrell pulled down at least 3 chicks being the most awful person on the planet. Him and Hopper are not 100% off the table given the facts.
That's the thing. Like, there are such things as prison marriages. Like, people wanted to bang Charlie Manson. Like, there are... I don't understand. Like, how many incels inhabit the internet when, like, straight up murderers get laid? Right. What's up with that, guys? Get off Reddit, maybe. Fuck.
And in the midst of that, you gave me my daughter, my baby girl.
Fuck
I always
you,
get
Darrell.
emotional talking about her in particular.
But not about all the victims I killed or their families. It's about the daughter I have with the third baby mama, who's the youngest of the ones I had with her. And that's when I get sad. Shut up, you fucking piece of shit.
Such a daddy's girl. We're very, very close. Very close.
Much like the children I took from their fucking parents.
I felt like when Missy was born.
This is where... Radical idea, but if you vote for me as president, I will make this happen. In every hilariously obvious trial like Darrell's, Sarah's, Alec Murdaugh's, Chris Watts, Chandler Halderson, I don't give a fuck. There'll be one dude in a sport coat, and in that sport coat will be a small pump-action BB gun. He will be allowed no more than 15 pumps and no less than 16 pellets. I want someone to shoot this fucking idiot in the back of the head with a pellet gun and be like, yo, dude, way off like the beaten path. Keep it together.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't get the message, he's got more pellets coming his way.
Right. I'll say this. It's a good thing we solved racism in this country because
thank God.
Darrell hits all the classics that would be easy to tease him over here.
Right.
Oh, yeah, because Thomas, I don't think Thomas is over here. John says, I get emotional, Yonner. My prison husband,
Yonner, I love
Rhino,
that.
went hard last night. He made me a new woman. I need some Midol and chocolate.
No, but that's like... Here's the... like. Again, because Darrell doesn't know how to human, it's just like the craziest like, if you were to give if I were to give my 4-year-old free reign of the kitchen, like I throw a chef's hat on and an apron, I say, go nuts, man. Balls out. Like anything in the fridge, anything in the pantry is not off limits. No holds barred. Cook some food.
Yep.
His meal would be a lot like whatever the fuck we're experiencing now. Jarring, uncomfortable, confusing, conflicting, too warm and hot too warm and too cold at the same time. It's like soggy where it shouldn't be and crunchy where it shouldn't be. It's like nothing good.
Right.
And we're watching it.
That was God giving me a chance to make good on the mistakes I made with my older 2 children at the time. I felt like that was redemption.
It's a redo.
Everything that I didn't do right, before.
Yo, I love it when people can just hop from kid to kid to be like, whoops, fuck this one up. I'll pop out the next one, see how that goes. For those of us who stick to a small number and have to like keep the one essentially up in the air like a juggling ball, it's tough.
Yeah.
I get why Darrell and others like him, like when shit gets rough, you just go and have another one and hope for the best. But seeing as how humans are one of the most complex organisms ever, it's not working, right? By the third baby mama, he should have figured it out. By the fourth, that's on him.
Wrong. She's probably the single-handed reason why. I'm even still breathing.
Shut up. Again, don't
Such
say
a
that.
light. Such a light in my life. Such a light.
Like if Bundy or Dahmer were like, there were days I was so low, I thought about killing myself. And then you turn around and the courtroom is like stadium seating packed with all the
Right.
families of his victims. And you go, yeah, what happened there? Don't say that. Thank you, Judge. Jesus.
Understand the extent of everything that's going on. She doesn't know what it is not to be able to talk to me when she wants to.
No, she does know that, Darrell. I guarantee she knows exactly what it's like to want to interact with her father but not be able to. And not because of actual entanglements, let's call them.
When she wants to, she just doesn't get it.
Yeah, Mama Brooks
And I know
bald head
that.
dildo.
And I'm mindful that there are people in this community that feel the same exact way.
What
Yeah.
community? The murderers
Their life
community?
that-
Wisconsin?
In their life that we're taking. So without being insensitive to that, I'll move past that.
What?
I just want to tell my baby girl that I love her.
Yo, kids.
My baby boy.
That would be hilarious. Like, like that in the perfect hilarious world that we all picture when serious shit happens, like she would jump up and be like, "Yo, fuck your kids," and sit back down, and the judge would be like, "I'll allow it." And bang the gavel a couple of times.
You may continue, Mr. Brooks.
I'll allow it.
During the time that I've been here, his mother, Quita,
Yikes.
I regret not being able to be there for the times that both of them needed me to.
Why was that, Darrell? Because you had so many other kids? Because you had so many other baby mamas? Or because you were ignoring them all?
He was in jail when she had his most recent baby. During this time of being in jail for this.
That's the thing. It's like it's easy to ignore someone when you're in jail because it's like, oh, whoop-de-fuck. Like, oh, I'm in jail. I'm Woody. Like, you think he's like, oh, whoa, it's...
He was too busy beating up Erica than driving through a parade.
Hey, yo, I would never hurt you. I would hurt... No, sorry. Yeah, you, the other three... It's a very complicated system. There's a charts. There's like Venn diagrams and
Seriously?
shit. The baby mamas I beat and the children I actually love. It's complicated. But Jesus Christ, I'm so sad because my youngest daughter. Fuck you.
It's not an easy thing for a woman to go through a pregnancy.
I mean, probably,
with
right?
virtually no help, having to move.
Yeah, because Darrell, for all his other kids, he was like right there. He was like a nursemaid. He had the candy stripers outfit and the little paper hat with the cross on it. He was an attentive father. But for this one, he fell down on the job. And for why? I don't know.
Thomas says, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but from all I've heard so far, this Darrell fella seems a tad bit irresponsible.
You know what? I'm going to have to check in with Opera on this because she did the legwork. But I'm starting to believe you, Thomas. Something isn't quite right in the city of Waukesha, if it's a city. I think it's just a county.
Residencies because of this tragedy not feeling safe.
Oh my God, yeah. If he had shock cuffs, again, it would have to take place in the universe where Opera gets up and goes, yo, fuck yo kids. But like she would also be in control of the little zapper for Darrell Brooks as a legend. And that's the thing. I can't believe how fucking crazy this case is that that's just one of those details that I keep forgetting about. That he kept saying that he was getting shocked by like future cuffs.
Pregnant, not feeling safe, receiving threats, things like that. And I wasn't there. I know what it's like to
see these shackles I'm wearing. They're shocks by Dre. I'm getting electrocuted, Your Honor.
Be at the birth of your children and see them born and cut the umbilical cord. And
I saw over half of my children born, Your Honor, and I loved every one of them. But you know what? The other ones that I missed, Miller High Life was fucking good, dog.
to do all those things, I've done that. And to not be able to do it for her and for him, to only know what he looks like.
Like I know how the rest of my children look like by a Facebook post that I quickly hit ignore because my fucking baby mama shouldn't be cluttering my feed when I'm looking for ass or titties, right, guys? Looking for baby number 5. Don't show me the old babies. I know them. Fuck.
Not feel safe to be in the city or be around my family members to build that rapport, because she can't.
If he has shock devices, the fucking one would have been, oh yeah, yeah.
Press me, Jennifer, just once. Give him a taste. Let me ride the lightning, girl.
But that's the thing, like, I don't, much like every other piece of fruit in this insane salad, like the shock implements that he kept saying were happening, like what was he expecting to get out of that? Like he had no proof. Nobody gave a fuck. Every time he brought it up, it was a zero flat line, like, you know, jurisdiction of whatever, like there was nothing there. Everything that happened was just...
Like, if anywhere in the U.S. was going to have a shocking shackles device, you think it'd be Waukesha, Wisconsin?
No, yeah, it's bullshit. But, like, it's just like, if you've ever worked a sales job where you've worked with, like, one of the worst salespeople ever who doesn't know how to read the room and just runs through techniques, that's what Darrell is. Like, he got fed a weekend seminar of the ABCs of selling, like, always be closing, but he doesn't... Like, the workbook is one thing. Humans are another. Like, you're going to have to read the room and like, judge emotions and facial features and a lot of micro expressions. But if you're a fucking idiot, you're going to be like a short order cook like Darrell here, who's throwing slop up on the counter like my son would.
And he could have been trying with that with the judge because he did God, he did mental health, and he did family, and none of that was sticking with her.
But it doesn't matter because at this point we've already seen him shirtless and removed and shackled and all in sundry.
Right. Here's the thing about Darrell. He believes there is some phantom audience who he thinks when they find out what they've been doing to him, they're going to storm Waukesha like it's the Bastille.
Just like Cyrax and his fans, just like King Cobra JFS and his fans. Like, there's nothing but trolls here.
Yeah.
But if you just start a new YouTube channel, try another chat tactic, bring up Jesus or whatever, you'll win over this mysterious cabal of ultra powerful but somewhat aloof people who are interested in you, but only if you can invoke them with your words. Not a lolcow, Darrell, right?
Not be able to help her. For me to not have any...
To not hit ignore when she calls me because I'm at the club.
To uplift her. Her expressing her anger to me.
She's pretty mad at me for all the murder.
Everything would go. It's hurtful. I
Get to know club.
I believe
Hey man, he's a semi-famous rap star who had at least one music video in which he displayed the murder weapon.
I have a plan for everything, and it's about doing the best you can inside of God's will.
So whoops, I guess my
Say what
entire
you
life
want
was a
about
big
me.
whoopsie daisy.
I'm not gonna walk away from my children.
Well,
Technically, no. Yes, you will be walking away from them, but you'll be led by two dudes with guns and you'll be in shackles. So I
Refuse to walk
Win,
away
lose?
from my children. I love all four of you, and that won't stop for nothing. No matter what.
I'm on
A lot
Facebook.
of reference yesterday.
Stay locked in the 906.11. The Axe.
Tom like it.
Made about
Tom Lakis. 1-800-1-800-TOM. Blow me up, Tom. Blow me up, Tom. If you spend more than $20 on a date and don't get sex, you're a something. I forget the rules. It's Lakis 101. You're on the air, son.
reference
Blow me up,
to
Tom.
opinions towards myself.
No, we're
I do
beyond
not
opinion,
fear
right?
death.
Yeah.
Not one bit. I do not fear death because I'm in Christ. Whether we believe it or not, at some point, we all have a date. Everyone on this planet has a date. In the word, it says that it is appointed to man once to die.
That date, like the date of the parade, right, Darrell? So if I were able to, like, object and be like, was it God who was like, get in that SUV, Darrell?
The way I see it is inevitable.
The pontification seems to be like adding more murk to his water.
Yeah.
I'm 1,000,000% confident in where I'm going when this is all over.
Hail.
1,000,000% confident. Regardless of what anyone thinks or says, I'm 1,000,000% confident in.
Even if Jesus says, get the fuck out, I'd be like, nah, dog. I'm 1,000,000% confident. I'm going to heaven. I mean, sure. 14 people dead. Other people killed more. Now let me in, bitch.
I think Christ would look at Darrell and be like, just this once, and eat him.
Right? Like he would pull a Lucifer at the center of the earth's core, start gnawing on him like Cassius or whatever. I would dig it.
We all got to stand before the judgment seat of Christ at some point. All of us.
If you ain't a Christian, I don't see that
any
happening.
better
Right.
than the next person. Contrary to belief, I do not feel like I'm above anyone. I don't feel like I'm superior to anyone.
I can't think of a single person I'd place above you in a hierarchy, so we agree.
I breathe air, I drink water, I eat, I go to the bathroom, I bleed just like anyone
Bathroom?
else. I'm no better. I'm a human being. I'm not a monster.
Oh my God. Like, is only like murderers saving grace the fact that literal monsters don't exist?
Probably.
Like, yeah, scientifically you are classified as human because there is no like Homo monsteris, right? There's no dragons or any of that shit. So it's great that everybody gets to go like, yeah, I'm a human just like you. It's just you're a particularly bad one is the problem. Metaphorically a monster. Like Frankenstein was busy this weekend, so you were made the old-fashioned way. Jesus.
That
fuck.
high pitch. I'm not a monster. It says it best. No, it wasn't God. It was, oh God, a Kandrian demon that possessed the SUV. Marcus read the Necronomicon wrong. We needed Ash Williams instead of a trial.
You might be right. You know what? Case closed.
And that's been trying to fit
It's hard to remember Klaatu Verata Nikto, right? Because you go, you think it works, but you're Darrell.
for 35 years. Questions that I've never got the answer to.
Why would I murder people in a parade? Never got the answer to that.
Yesterday in a lot of the victims' statements that a lot of the victims are going through the healing process. Believe it or not, I've prayed for all victims' family members.
Again, like, here's another aphorism for you. Like, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? Except that's not really a good metaphor, because in this case, an ounce of prevention would have saved hundreds of pounds.
Right.
Thousands even.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm just, this is what I would be thinking if I were listening to this as a sane, rational, possibly, I need third-party verification on both of those, but human, out in reality that we all share. But we don't get what we want.
To be able to make it through that.
Opera lied to me. Guards, release him.
But it is a process. It won't happen overnight.
Yeah, the chainsaw don't fit. Hey, you don't see a mask made out of other people's faces on my face, do you? Hello?
If I was paying attention, if, you know, this, that, or the third, which I won't really get into.
There was a vehicle recall. There was jury nullification in play. Like, yo, my head was spinning. My sovereign citizenship was in jeopardy.
I definitely was paying attention.
Nope.
And I heard in a lot of those statements, people that were having their own mental health issues. Some recognizing what it was, others not so much.
What?
But that's what it was. A lot of things that
I hate him so much.
Can't quite wrap.
A lot of the victims that I victimized, they had mental illness too. So maybe they're just playing it up. Me, I'm legit. Like, oh fuck. This guy right here.
I hid in abandoned cars.
Yeah, like a barrel full of mental illness to the top. These people? Not so much. Quit playing the victim card. All 14 of you.
Yeah.
Plus the family members.
Right.
Believe it or not, you were talking to someone that's dealt with those same types of questions for a long time.
Yeah, great.
Questioning life itself. Questioning what's the point of being here, to go through all this pain, to go through all the doubts, feelings of inadequacy I can relate to firsthand.
But then I killed a bunch of people, so I guess it wasn't worth the candle, was it?
Right.
Being made fun of, being joked about, being
Bluff
cheered
checks,
at, being
yeah.
bullied. Growing up, I can relate to all of that because I've been through it. Not knowing if you even want to wake up after you go to sleep. I've been through that. Wondering if you'll even be missed when you're gone. The weirdest hours of the morning, just sitting up and just finding something to stare at.
You would not believe how weird these hours are. Like 1:47 a.m. There I am, staring at a wall, wondering why I killed all those people and why they won't forgive me. 2:13. There I am, looking at the ceiling. The ghosts of all the people I killed haunting me. And I go, I'm sorry, but you're dead. I have mental illness. Sometimes it's like 3:32, and I'm like, hello, I'm up. Shut the fuck up, Darrell. God damn it.
Hoping that an answer may just fall out of the sky on you. Me, myself, I've, like I said, raised Christian, but it's been so many times through the years that I've doubted God. It's time. I think everyone in this room can say that. If you believe, you doubt it.
Did you let Jesus take the wheel, Darrell?
Hey, stone-faced guard. What you like? We've all felt like that, right? Like, you ever had a family member hit by a car during a Christmas parade, guard? No, just these sad people. Fuck, damn. I thought I had that one.
Questioned, wondered, been in situations that just can't figure out why. How did I get here? What did I miss? What didn't I catch? What didn't I see? How did it ever get to this? How did it ever end up with this?
Here's the thing.
At some point, we've all...
Every fucking idiot asks that. Like, how did I get here? Like, it's a lifetime of bad decisions. It's nature and nurture. It's your shitty family. It's your shitty decision making. It's poor acting on all sides. Like, shut up.
It's 4:25 and my prison husband got his horn in my face.
Yeah, it's like 4:26 and I'm like tired.
I like to imagine Judge Darrow is up there doing tricks with a yo-yo while Darrell enters his second hour.
Oh my
of
God.
Who,
Do you
me?
remember in the 90s when they had those like mini yo-yos? Like right when fingerboards were starting to hit, like yo-yos became a thing. Like when I was in junior high, everybody had Duncan fucking yo-yos. And you get those little ones. I guarantee she's got a neon green one. She is just flicking like fucking crazy back there.
Do you remember
walking the dog like you would not believe?
Fingerboard brand name?
I never...
From last week?
No, it was shop class.
Tech Deck.
Yeah, I know it was Tech Deck.
All
Neon
been in
green.
that
Fuck
position.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Obviously,
You had that,
in my
Duncan.
shoes, it's a little different. I said before, for the people that don't have any understanding,
Are you done?
I can't.
How far is it? Are we into this? I don't
sit
know.
I don't know. This video
what
player doesn't
people
show me
want me to
Oh.
be.
anything.
We're all individuals. We all
Why?
have our own ways of looking at things.
It's Linux.
We all have our own personalities or whatnot. That's what makes us unique, is our individualism.
Like each and every individual I mowed down with my car. Fragile, unique snowflakes, wiped from reality. But I'm special too, bitch. What?
I'm Darrell Brooks.
One person
Third
may
party.
react to something, another person may feel the same exact way, but probably not react the same way. People can agree on certain things and still have a different approach.
Who cares? What does this matter?
Listening to all the victims yesterday that
3/4 of the
had
way?
the courage to speak and state their opinions and vent their frustrations and their anger and everything. I heard a lot of what should have been done, what could have been done as far as to the remorse. I apologize for not
Stopping
showing
the car.
people what they wanted to see.
What they wanted to see was not their families getting run over, right?
Right.
Like, it's not like, oh, I was just a jerk after the fact. Like, that's what really pissed people off. Like, sure, I mowed down children and the elderly, and it was Christmas, and there was goodwill and snow and carols and a bunch of deaf kids and dancers and stuff, and, you know, get whatever. But, like, I'm sorry, I wasn't sadder afterwards.
Thomas says, I think Darrell had to have heard what a filibuster is, but like the cretin he is, doesn't understand. But he thinks if he keeps talking,
Right.
they can't take him away to his cellie. Yeah, and the judge eventually is just like, okay.
It does feel like there was probably like something in the back of his brain where he's like filibuster and that'll something. Like, I'm a sovereign citizen, I'm going to filibuster. But there's no like clock anywhere. There's no like shot clock. It's not like you've got to get the ball over to anywhere in any amount of time. They're letting you run because what they've put on you is an infinite leash. The biggest fucking spool of nylon in the world, and you could run to the edge of the universe.
Yeah.
It's just when you stop running, they're going to hit that button and yank your ass back to prison, so it doesn't matter. Run as far as you want, Darrell.
She lets him talk for 2 hours and
Right.
6 minutes. Total.
That there be understanding to
Oh, God, maybe
there's a
half.
side out of the courtroom that's not seen.
I don't, yeah, I
What's
can't,
seen
I
in the
wish we could see a
courtroom is
time
just
bar because
a
I
small-
broke it
a
down
small
to
piece
less
of
than
the
an
whole
hour
thing.
of him talking.
Just a fraction. The majority of the time, I'm not standing in the courtroom or sitting in the courtroom. It's not a day, it's not an hour that goes by that I haven't thought about what's happened. That I haven't tried to wrap my head around how something like this could happen.
You just hit the play button.
It's not even deflection, right? It's not even like, yeah, I can't. It's just like total disconnection from reality. Like, how did this happen? It's like, I'm not one to black out when I drink, but I understand it is a thing that people can drink a lot, black out, and remain conscious, but checked out. And so when they wake up later, they go, oh, whoa, I did all those things. This isn't one of those situations.
No.
This isn't like, how did it happen? Like, it wasn't like a blackout. It wasn't like a Cyrax. I raged out and saw red, and I woke up like with my incisors 3 inches deep into a deer's jugular, and I was nude in the forest, and there was snow. Like, this is straight up, you were an uninterrupted stream of consciousness through the whole thing. And it's not deflection. It's like complete refusal of what happened. It's like, yeah, I did it, but what happened? And who? Actually, I didn't. Who did it? What was it? Where am I?
Thought about the pain that you all are in, what was lost, and in the fashion that it was lost. Contrary to what...
Okay, so that's the thing. Yeah, you're right, Thomas, because it does feel like... It's like when you take... I like it in this. Like if you were to take a friend ocean fishing who had never been ocean fishing before, right? You, two buddies who have been before, and this fourth person who's never been out, doesn't know the thing, but is very opinionated. And so as you're catching fish, you pull them, big ocean fish, you pull them onto the boat, and you whack them with the oar. If they're a squid, you give them a chop, so you kill them nice and fast. Mm-hmm. So it's over and done with quickly. But like your friend keeps going like, oh, it's so cruel, I can't believe it. You're like, we're fishing, bitch. So finally you say, fine. Next thing we land, we're not going to kill. We'll just let it die of natural causes here on the boat asphyxiating. Because it somehow feels better to this idiot. That fish struggling for breath for the next 45 minutes, that marlin that you have to run around the boat away from the sail and the sword of, is Darrell Brooks. And all because we have to defer to the fucking pussy friend who goes, no, let him do it the old-fashioned way, right? Hello? Yeah, exactly. It's like, sure, the guy's on the gallows, the trapdoor opened, and he should be dead, but he's flailing, and we've got another 30 minutes to kill, so don't bother pulling on his legs. A little quicker, but I like my fishing one better. I got a fish stein earlier.
You get to a point, though, and obviously it's different with me being in this position and...
What's that position, Darrell?
On the other side of the coin, so to speak.
Plus, they never were able to produce the state of Wisconsin, so technically, subject matter jurisdiction is, a little bit in play.
It's
Double jeopardy.
Position. On my end, you get to a point to where you just tired. You get to a point where you've cried all the tears you can cry.
None.
You've prayed all the prayers you can pray.
Zero.
You never stop praying, but...
Never start. That's why you never stop.
At this point.
If a car never starts rolling down the road, it can't stop. He never stopped praying. I believe that.
You get to a point where you're completely drained. You don't know what else you have to give. There was many court dates in the beginning of all these proceedings that I wasn't even sure if I can even come into courtroom without breaking down.
Of course, then the judge would kindly remove me with the courtroom. I would remove my shirt and wave my arms like this, and I had big postcards that said objection on it. So that got me through.
Thomas says they should have had someone dressed in a silhouette of the state of Wisconsin show up now like a Bad Birthday Barney or Ninja Turtle
Seriously,
performer.
like fucking Ralph or Lisa from the Simpsons style, where he's like,
I'm Idaho.
I'm Idaho. Like, find someone, give him a cheese hat, put him in the stand, be like, I represent the state of Wisconsin. Fuck you, Darrell. And he would have shut the fuck up because he's stupid.
Yeah.
Where
I'm Wisconsin.
I didn't even feel like I
Bye.
was going to make it through a court proceeding. When
I don't know
did
any of
have
that.
representation, it was times where I told my representation, no, I don't. And that wasn't because
I don't want legal advice, sound thoughts, ideas of freedom, logic. Fuck you.
I just didn't want to come in the courtroom. It was because mentally I could not handle it. I couldn't. Having to be prepped for everything that I was gonna walk into. Them telling me, you know, it's gonna be this kind of atmosphere and expect this and it's just like, wow.
This isn't his first time in a courtroom, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know him personally, and whatever, maybe this is prejudicial, but I don't think that Darrell is a fresh babe of the woods come to join, human society and then is snatched up unjustly and immediately in a system he is unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
He hit his other baby mamas. They must have brought him at least in the arena of criminal justice.
Yeah.
How am I going to do this?
Subject matter jurisdiction.
I want everyone to know, though.
Right, yeah. If you say, okay, what is subject matter jurisdiction, Darrell?
The
Jesus,
words.
his blood was on the cross and died for our sins, and
The court,
there was a recall
cameras
on my
aren't
car.
rolling anymore.
Shit!
You don't have the world looking at you anymore. That's when you can feel like you're human again.
Chin pop, right? Ooh.
When you can go back to your cell, drop your tears,
Drop your drawers.
pray, punch your mat if you're frustrated,
Bite your pillow if you know what I'm getting at.
sleep it off, whatever you may choose to do. And I wonder
Not
how
much.
things would be different if the cameras was rolling then.
I would think how different it would be if I had murdered all those people. I'd probably be out in public, enjoying freedom, nice toilet paper. It would smell nice most of the time. I still have access to vehicles, a professionally prepared food, non-prisoners. I mean, anything could have happened if only the cameras were rolling then.
All this courtroom, how would it be then? We've all done things in our life that we regret, that we're not proud of.
Very few of us have sentences that are prosecutable into the triple digits, but
We're thinking,
yeah, I get it, baby. I get that shit. This is fucked.
I keep her like all the prosecution's stuff. I kept doing something like I have to.
And she's just like, uh-huh.
I dropped my yo-yo.
Darrell?
Fuck.
Where's my silly putty?
been like a roller coaster.
Right, where were the cameras
A
then?
roller coaster. And obviously, just everyday life, some days are better than others. That's just life in general. Some days are just better than other days.
Why are you saying this?
You don't know.
You heard my best friend
I like her pen.
speak a little bit earlier.
Classic big
about-
gels.
I guess it would be more happier times, but even then,
PC in the paper
put
underwear.
on a smile.
I mean, seriously, I never ever, like, even as a joke, want to hear, like, squat and lift your sack, right? Because Jesus Christ.
He's lost the
To hide
plot.
the pain.
He never had a plot.
Oh no, he never had a plot. Yeah.
Like, this was like improv story time. He's drunk off his ass. It's his first time, and his friends pushed him in the direction. He's like, I got this on lock. And now the bar's empty and closed.
Long before November 21st, 2021. Long before. that
Maybe the
day,
Christmas before that, I was thinking about killing people.
Long before. Feeling dead inside.
Oh, God.
Then feeling hopeful.
Coughing.
Then feeling depressed.
Then feeling homicidal. Then feeling a little hungry.
Then feeling happy. Then feeling upset. Just
Yeah, whoa, like humans, much like everything else, guys, spoiler alert, and holy fuck if you haven't figured this out by now, but here's what's going to happen. Everything moves in cycles. Electricity, light, life, everything. You'll have ups and downs. No one is ever just a flat line. Sometimes you will feel good, sometimes you will feel bad. You need that contrast to know that you're alive. Darrell Brooks is a fucking idiot, and this is a speech for a jury of preschoolers. Like, baby's first court case. This is what you should be doing for that.
Baby's first court case.
And here we are, Judge Darrow and Opera have to go like, God damn it. Like, sure, they get to get paid by the hour. I don't.
up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. 90% of the time, not even knowing why you're going from point A to B.
All right, you helping? Okay, so yeah, Thomas says I was helping with a class trip once, and I let a little kid fall off a tree. He was climbing. Yeah, that's the thing. Small things like that, the aren't unintentional, no malicious content. They'll wreck you. Like we talked about roadkill. Like I hit a chipmunk or a squirrel or, God forbid, a quail or a roadrunner, and I'm destroyed for a week.
Yeah.
And that's like a non-personal crime. Like I didn't use a knife. I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't have any. It was a complete accident.
Yeah.
These were people, and dozens of them.
One like this. So I think you do a lot of things to numb that. Some people have different things that help them numb it. Some people turn to drugs. Some people
Other people have recalls on their vehicles that help them get through the night. Jury nullification?
alcohol. Some people
Toilet
turn to
wine?
many different things. Some people isolate themselves. Some people
Listen, if you're going to like do the classic three, right? Some people use drugs. Some people use alcohol. Some people use all kinds of different things. That's a stupid thing to say, but you got it in three. Then don't go, some other people like Parcheesi. The rule of threes. I'm not saying that to Darrell. He's a fucking waste. You, the viewer, landed on the third one. Even if it isn't solid, leave it at three.
however you deal with it is how you deal with it. At that point in my life,
You're doing great, Darrell.
You're almost there.
I would love, again, in the perfect world, like in an Arrested Development camera style situation, you'd see her like lean into frame and hold up like half a
card?
legal pad paper like folded in half, and like the camera would show behind him and he opens it up and it would say exactly that.
Yeah. With smiley face.
You're almost there. And it's like signed Opera.
to put up a front. No one's seen me.
I mean, if you could justify, that's the thing. If I could eat any of the things that I accidentally killed, maybe I wouldn't feel bad about it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't eat a roadrunner.
Right, those are, but I'm not, you'd have to be that type of person. I can't, like, the average person who hits a deer won't be like, oh, goody, because then you've got, like, 200 pounds of rotting carcass, and if you don't know how to get, like, the anus and shit out of it, like, that's just, like, you're asking for, the police to show up because you've got a rotting corpse and you try to throw it in the freezer, but all the organs, again, are still intact, like, you have to ask,
Be a nightmare.
what's his nuts? Mark Twitchell, where he got his kill kit. Probably Sportsman's.
Probably.
No question.
Or his
You see someone and
game
they
cleaning
always
kit.
have an upbeat appearance, or seem to be smiling, or seem to be in a joyful mood, there's no reason to what is there a question?
I might look like I'm walking on sunshine, but I might not be.
How much turmoil could it be? The first thing they would say is every time I see them, they're okay. It's not okay. It's not.
Cool.
Once he starts like giving her accolades is when she's like, look, I'm not looking for this. I'm looking for what you have to say about your fucking sentence.
Thing, though. As long as you have breath in your body.
Breath.
No matter what you're going through, where you may be, what struggles you have.
Does he think he's talking to a bunch of junior high students in like an auditorium somewhere?
Like a motivational speaker?
Not even that. Just like, hey, yo, here's a guy who's had some hard times, and the teachers want an hour and a half to blow a butt in the back of the auditorium. Like, watch this shit.
A way to press forward.
I'd love to see a group chat of the judge
Seriously.
table.
To press forward. I think the Apostle Paul said it best. The Apostle Paul said it best when he said, one thing I do, forgetting what's behind me and straining toward.
Who's he quoting?
Apostle Paul.
That's what I thought I heard. The Apostle Paul. I read the Apostle of John's, Matthew, Numbers.
Paul, of which Christ has taken a hold of him.
Crisis.
Straining.
The Apostle Crisis.
For which, acknowledging that it's difficult, acknowledging that there'll be opposition, there'll be hurdles to jump,
It might be a mission impossible.
be mountains to climb. It's not going to be easy. Acknowledging that by saying straining to move forward. That's what I've been learning. Is it frustrating that sometimes people mistake that for not caring? Yeah. Very frustrating.
Hell yeah, bitch.
Hell
yeah. Fuck.
It is. You cannot.
Telling him to look up the Vatican and ask him, Darrell, not to read the Bible. Hey, can you leave that in your cell, dude? Thanks.
Wish I had the power to do that. I can't.
Ruining our canon.
So I have to look at life going forward, not backward. I have to look at reality. I've moved past.
Here's the thing. In one of the cantos of Dante's Inferno, the only people who spent eternity looking backwards were the soothsayers, because telling the future or being a soothsayer or a fortune teller, huge sin in God's eyes, or at least Dante's God's eyes. So all of those people, the seers, had their heads on backwards and had to walk, like that for all of eternity. And in the grand scheme of things, if you read the Inferno, not a terrible punishment. Because if you go, okay, would you rather lie face first in a puddle of shit while fresh shit rains on you for the rest of eternity? You could live in a pit full of serpents, and if one bites you, you turn into a serpent, and it's horrifying and agonizing. We could plant you in a red-hot stone vault with a bunch of other fucktards who never shut up. Or we could put your head on backwards. You go, oh, really? That's until you hear about the guys with the lead cloaks, and you go, those guys have it easy, right? Lead on the outside, gold on the inside. They're having to walk and their joints creak, and you go, that's not so bad. Some dudes have to lay flat on burning sand for 1,000 years if they stop walking for a second. It's rough down there.
Of the day of November 21st, 2021, but I have not moved past
Show your goings on.
uplifting this community in prayer, and I will continue to do that.
Yeah, the Christian church sends other missionaries from other religions to Darrell. Like, hey, try Judaism, try Islam. Hey, you ever wanted to be a Shiite? Huh? Hare Krishna is your thing, Darrell? Anything but Catholicism? Just keep JC's name out of your mouth. Okay, buddy? We'll catch you later. He's like, and I'll be taking that. And they pull the communal copy of the Bible out from under his hand.
I won't stop.
I can't stop.
Uplifting the communities in prayer, the victims, the families. Regardless of how anyone feels, I will continue to pray for them because that's what I want my heart to reflect. And I don't want it to be
I'll be taking that.
misinterpreted what I'm saying by that.
Yoink.
Yoink.
I move past the actual day to clarify that so there's no misconception.
Seriously, that's the thing. Prayer is something that no one ever wants, right? Like, have you ever been on the receiving end of somebody who's like a holier than thou piece of shit? He goes like, I'll be praying for you. And you go like, no, thanks. I got this on lock. Same feeling as like Darrell Brooks, who's like, yeah, I'm a murderer. I'll be praying for you. And you go like, no, I'm cool. Like,
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
it's like if like Pol Pot or Stalin wrote you like a really good letter of recommendation to give to your next boss, and you go like, hey, it's a glowing review, but considering the source, we're gonna pass.
None of us can go back and change what happened. We can't.
No shit.
No, we can put you in prison for 800,000 years,
my life
though.
has to continue to be defined by that. I refuse to continue to live at that time because that time is past.
His
We can
shackles
always
keep
say
hitting the
shoulda,
table, and it
coulda,
is
woulda.
annoying.
Nobody knows what they'll do until they're in that situation. It's easy to say, I would have did this, I could have did this, I should have did this.
Every one of you, were you in a 2008 red Ford Escape 4-cylinder because the 6 was expensive? You'd be killing all those Christmas people too. And don't pretend like you wouldn't. You're a murderer, just like me. I'm Darrell Brooks.
You never know what you're going to do until you actually there. Does anyone think I haven't asked myself that? Man, I should. Why didn't I? What does it matter now?
Why didn't I just hit the brake? Pull the keys out.
Not even go there in the first place.
Drive to Walmart. There were no parades there. Picked up a hot dog at Costco.
How
Do a
many
number
times
of
can
things.
I pound my fist against something and say, why? How?
Oh, yeah, that'd be hilarious if they made Darrell a prison gargoyle. I mean, again, that would be the hilarious, non-real version of shit. The same one where, like, opera's passing notes and shit. Like, the worst of the worst would be the gargoyles of the prison.
Yeah.
I know, right? Cheetah?
How many times? Before you just like
if you had to sit down and make like the things that you like bullet points of the things you would say to try and lessen your sentence, and then you split that into like a bizarro pros and cons list and you threw out all the pros, that's Darrell's bullet points.
forward. Forgiveness. Matthew 6:14 and 15. Forgiveness.
I actually read that. Possibly citation needed. Sorry, I have to read it. I wrote down the name and the number. I got to put once, Your Honor. It's a thick Bible. You guys do it upright in the prison. Thick as shit. Anyway, excuse me. You got to find it.
Forgive other people when they sin against you. Your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
Isn't it amazing how assholes always find the shit about forgiveness, but glance over all the stuff that talks about like literally murdering people for doing the least bit of indiscretion towards you? If you're a man, if you're a woman, you can pound sand and what the fuck, GTFO. But hey, if you transgress against another man, I'm sure some of his victims were. The Bible said he should, plenty of stuff. I don't know.
Not forgive others their sins. Your Father will not
Kung Pao.
forgive your sins.
Limp low.
That's Jesus himself, God himself. I point no fingers towards anyone in judgment to say, how could you say this and how? Like I said before.
I mean, that we talked about that before, John, where instead of like knocking on that like well-meaning citizen who like
Made him a sandwich.
And basically treated him like the blind man and Frankenstein's monster, but was a little savvy and was able to see what was going on. Yeah, I would have loved if he stumbled into like a Dexter style layer, but those are lightnings in bottles that we don't know exist. Mm-hmm. Like, odds are, in an infinite universe of infinite possibilities, yes, somebody who had just committed a horrifying crime stumbled into a layer of someone even more villainous and was dispatched.
Yeah.
But we'll never know.
We'll process this tragedy is
How do you not love Kung
How
Pao,
they
right?
choose.
Come on.
I could jump up and down and yell and scream about what was said in
I
regards
did.
to me.
P.S.
Yeah, I was put in timeout multiple times.
But why?
I was in a legal
Everyone
timeout.
has to make their own peace
Why,
with God.
Stephen?
Why,
That's what
Stephen?
I've done, regardless to what people think I've done it. I don't want that to be confused with being at peace. It's a process, but I've made my peace. That is the only reason why I made the comment that
Calling a group of actions a process is highly dismissive, because the process of coming to terms with a mass murder is a process, right? There's also a process involved in making bread. They're both a process. But for him to be like, it's a process to get over all the murders that I did, in the same tone of voice where you're like, yeah, then you add the yeast.
not
Lose me with that shit.
Good Christian resident.
Oh my God.
remorse. It wasn't mockery. It wasn't to thumb my nose at anyone. That wasn't what that comment was about. I've chosen to do that because it was needed.
Was
It's
it?
easy to lose your way in the world because the world is, as we all know, is
Really quick, as I keep looking at it, lose me with that shit. Like I would say that all the time if I think I could get away with it, but I don't think I could. Like I say yo too much. If I started saying lose me with that shit or lose me with that like Christmas shit or any other shit that I want people to lose me with, they'd probably be like, what the fuck are you doing?
are out there all types of we get caught up in the world. I can't, and I refuse to live
As
the
Darrell
rest
Brooks.
of my life trying to please other people.
Yeah.
I still have a long
Why start, right? I refuse. Haven't done it yet. Won't start. Never stopped.
to get to where
Imagine being Jesus up there and being like, oh man, sick. We're getting a ton of new prayers. Oh shit, never mind, it's Darrell.
This is Darrell.
to be.
Ton of new prayers
My
coming
life
in,
now is
guys.
about pleasing God. It's about what He wants, not what I want. It's about what He wants, not what everybody else wants.
So do you think he's like low-key dog whistling, like I was only doing God's will by killing these people, so let me the fuck out? He keeps saying God's will. God's foot was not on that pedal, God's hands were not on that wheel, and God's keys were not in that ignition. Presumably, God was in Florida hitting the links.
Of God's will. Yet another comment that was taken out of context.
I just did, probably.
A comment that, again, was not meant in a disrespectful manner in any way.
Except I'm doing it repeatedly here, and it does feel disrespectful because I killed them, but I'm kind of handing that over to the big G man, right? I mean, it was God's will that I murdered that parade, and Jesus, he gave a stamp of approval because you cannot get through the board with that big JC's golden stamp.
It's not meant
How does religion work to you,
to thumb my
Darrell?
nose at anyone in any way. It was the acknowledgement that God is in control of everything. Everything. The good,
Guys.
the bad, and the ugly. He is in control. That's what that was pointed towards.
But again, the inference and the implication, I'm inferring, it might be an implication, I'm definitely inferring, that this is God's fault, at least a little bit. Like, there's victim blaming is one thing, right? To go like, they were dressed a certain way or they were in a part of town or whatever. But to like sidestep yourself and the victim and lay this at the big man's feet to be like, yo, like it wasn't like you got a flat tire in the rain and then you were splashed and you ended up finding a 20 in the puddle and it all worked out in the end. Like, oh, thanks, G-man. Like, this was a massacre.
So at one point early on, Judge Darrow mentioned she starts her day with the Bible verse or accepts something to dwell on or whatever she believes believers do. A part of me thinks this is the snake ass Darrell worming himself in.
Right. But that's the thing.
Ain't gonna work.
Don't ever, like, here's the thing. I don't care what you are. I don't give a fuck what you are. Don't bring it to work. I don't care if you're a post office worker, you work in a break room, mopping the floors, you're a janitor, or you're the president. Don't bring up your shit. It just makes mushheads like Darrell think they have an angle to play, and it annoys the rest of us who aren't on that team. Don't say, well, because I'm a Christian, I do this, or because I do this, I read the Bible, I ruminate on this. I don't care if you read the Bible, the fucking Torah, the Tao Te Ching, the Bhagavad Gita. I don't give a fuck. We don't need to hear about it. Like the jury, the judicial system, everything is already so murky because we like to bullshit ourselves that it's science. It's not. Don't then throw on the extra layer of like righteous religious frosting that this doesn't need.
Right.
Don't. Even if like everybody's on board and they go, oh, thank God, we all believe in God here. It doesn't matter. Like, Darrell shouldn't have the opportunity to be like, Jesus?
That alone. For those of us who do believe, we've always been taught that God, his way is not ours.
But here's the thing. We're not in church. Step one, his way doesn't apply. Ours, the law of the land, which God says you must abide by. It's in the Bible, Darrell. That's where we are. So it doesn't matter, right? Like, that's the thing. One of God's rules is to abide by the rules that other humans make. God said that, allegedly.
What he sees fit to do, we can't stand in the way of it. No matter how much.
Is there a train rolling by outside the door? What's going on?
We can't.
It's the lunch cart.
Lunch train, toot toot. Just a mile of sandwiches rolling by outside the door. Well, he clearly told you what.
Frankly, sometimes that sucks.
If only like he'd read that part of the Bible, right? Like because everybody loves like Matthew and Apostle John and Apostle Bible and all them good guys. But you know, when it's like, what would Jesus do? He'd like skip all the choice cuts that actually would help in a time like this.
I thought I would be standing here
like a bunch,
not being able to enjoy a time with my family that anyone would enjoy with their family. People lost loved ones. I'm sure they feel the same way. They never expected to be here now because of something like this.
Sure, you and all your families are fucked. I'm still alive. I'm Darrell Brooks.
I lost on me. To suggest that I don't care.
The faces are fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Am I sorry I murdered that old lady and I had to flop her off the hood like a pancake? Hell yeah. When I ran over, I heard her bones break. Was that weirding me out? Hell yeah. Am I sorry about it? Hell yeah. Should I be punished for all the murders? Hell no, dog.
Out of everything that's been said during this whole year, that's probably the hardest one to digest.
Daryl, you know how many ass whoopings y'all are robbing Erica of this shit, Brooks.
To suggest that I'm heartless.
This court should do, as far as the sentences are concerned with all of these convictions.
Hey, seriously, what the fuck's going on here, Daryl? Anything?
Honestly, Your Honor,
Let me beat one of my baby's mamas one more time, please.
and I don't want this to be taken out of context.
This is not a slight.
I believe
You a bitch. All due respect, Your Honor. Now, since I said all due respect, you have to accept that I called you a bitch. All due respect. You bitch.
there's issues with me attempting to answer that. And here's why.
I do have a lot to say.
I'm Darrell Brooks. God.
I'm not going to edit out my pauses.
I'm still confused.
Really?
Yeah.
You're such a smart guy, Daryl. You
represented yourself.
the
Still
fuck, dude?
confused on the true nature and cause of the charges.
What about this subject matter jurisdiction?
Why are we here?
Who's the state of Wisconsin, Your Honor?
What are-
I'm still in the 76 charges?
What are these charges for? I don't get
I'm
it.
in the dark about a lot of shit, Your Honor. The case is over. It's sentencing. I don't know what that is.
Where am I?
Who put this L right here? My name isn't Laryl. It's Daryl. Darrell Brooks.
Objection.
Objection, Your Honor. Laryl.
I also
Seriously.
What are they writing? I want to know what they're writing. They're playing
writing
Hangman.
personal emails at this point. They're like, honey,
The two ladies are
entering
playing
hour
Hangman.
3 of fucking Darrell Brooks talking about nonsense. I think he might be done in the next 6 hours.
I might be home for dinner. Take the turkey out.
Keep the
Yeah,
stovetop
that-
on the
that's-
top.
not a shot.
It's not a slight.
in any way
You a bitch.
towards Your Honor.
All due
It's
respect.
not. And I don't want that to be taken out of context.
Shut
as
up.
well.
The opera was doing her
I
taxes.
will say help is needed. When you've dealt with certain things as long as I have,
Like what? How long have you been dealing with them? Being a murderer? 2 years?
yeah, so many questions about where to start.
About where to start. The question about where to start would be, where do I start? Beyond that, can you guys think of a different question about where to start? I already covered the
question?
one. Where to start? Where should I start? Off the table. Can you guys think of any other question that would deal with this? Darrell seems to think there are a lot. I'm open to hear them. Objection.
You got so many questions about what can give you the help you need, who can point you in the direction to get the help you need.
Too late.
There's so many things.
The house burned down. Where's the water? Where was the water? How is water? I don't know. Innocent?
You don't know where to start at.
Here at the end.
Your Honor, I think that throughout these proceedings,
Felonious allegations.
and I've noticed this,
There's no subject matter jurisdiction, Your Honor.
that you've been very observant. You've been
It's my job, Darrell.
very attentive.
You've been watching the case. I see you taking
Regardless of
notes.
me being
Kudos.
frustrated with some of the things that
Your robe is always very clean. Your hair is nice. Your glasses never smudged. What's happening?
has been.
One of my favorite Darrellisms is that he believes his I don't understand is going to stun lock Opera and Darrell long enough for him to shimmy out of his cuffs. Bitch, Texas executes Down syndrome people.
I don't believe that in anybody's heart of hearts that claiming to be confused or misunderstanding something will ever help you?
No.
Because we all, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, right? That's the thing that kind of sucks about it, is you should be given a pamphlet with all the things that you are free to do and that are illegal for you, which far outweighs your freedoms, because there are a lot of things you can't do. But if you're an idiot, how are you going to know that? There's a caveat. Most people with common sense don't murder or steal or break and enter, commit simple assault or fraud or black or any of these things, because we all want to sort of collaboratively work together as a society. But when you go, all right, well, I got caught for something, I'll just claim that I didn't know that that specific thing was illegal. So, mulligan?
Right.
By the time the third body bounces off your hood, plausible deniability is out the window. You understand.
I can't do anything but
stupid.
Look at what you have done, which is you have.
What have you done? Which is you have. You have done it, and I've watched what you've done, and you have it. You've done it and have done it and have it and will do it. You've done it. You have it. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. You have it and you've done it. You've got it all, Judge. Fuck!
Been very, very keen.
Another thing that he has in common with lolcow is fucking cringe.
I believe that
your hair smells like apples, Your Honor.
Still a lot of issues there.
I bet under that robe you're rocking like an 8.
I believe that because of the issues I have, sometimes I may have said things that you probably didn't really understand what I was meaning by.
I probably whipped my shirt off in a way that you took as like offensive.
I didn't mean for it to be.
Not, sharpest knife in the drawer.
Yeah, typically I'll fly off the handle, take a huge steamy shit on my boss's desk, and then a day or two after, when everything's cooled down, I'll come back into the office and be like, yo, that was crazy, right? You probably misunderstood that cornback rattler I left crawling over your desk. Here's the thing. You're a bitch, no disrespect.
I think sometimes...
Didn't understand properly, you dumb bitch.
My mind probably
No disrespect.
works a little faster than I can articulate something.
I do not believe that. I believe your mouth runs at 100 and your brain runs at about 2.
Or say something. Obviously, it would be...
Yeah, a dude whose mind is so fast, we had to edit out so much silence that it literally cut the video length in half.
Yeah.
Brain so fast, it's slow. Didn't hit the turbo button in the back of his head there.
Said about you thus far.
Oh, fuck.
You've gotten an incredible amount, credible.
You got a credible apostolator Bible.
Amount of love.
Oh my God.
For your job in this.
She's going to interrupt him in a second.
You a good judge. I'm going to let you finish judging me. You a good judge. But this judge over here deserves Judge of the Year award.
Some even say superhero.
Oh, fuck.
Some people.
Super judge.
I'm sure you know this, but some people have even dressed up as you for Halloween.
Mr. Brooks, I'm not looking for accolades from anyone. I'm looking here today to sentence you in this case, and I'm frankly more interested in your thoughts on that.
And I would love to get to them eventually. However, it's been about 2 hours and we haven't yet hit the tip of this iceberg. The Titanic would have sailed over you easily, dude. What are we fucking doing here?
Yeah, he doesn't get very far.
Of me and how I conducted myself during this trial.
I think you hot, Judge. No disrespect.
On that part.
Oh my God.
I had a job to do today. It's not an easy one.
It's a boring one.
There's 76 counts.
Because they don't get to stop him and talk like I get to. She's got to sit there and fucking take it the whole time.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I'd like you, if you can and if you want, to tell me how you think I should do that.
Okay. Oh, that's what you wanted? Shit. I wasted an hour and 45 just talking about bullshit because I was like freestyling.
Why am I here?
Damn, dog. You want me to talk about why I'm here?
The victims have stated, that's what the state, right? They provided their recommendations.
The only thing I can say is
Get ready, guys. We're here. We made
Mental
it.
health. God damn it.
The only thing you can say. This is it. If nothing else we take for granted,
Buckle up.
this should be it. I'm going to turn up the volume.
that should be taken into account is the time that I've served.
360 days.
Kobe, like that's a fucking, like if you could put Kobe Bryant, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan into the fly teleporter machine and make the best basketball player this or any other conceivable reality has ever spawned, it would not, that conglomeration would not equal 1/10 of the skill of Darrell Brooks. If one thing he has, it's I would like you to punch my card for time served. 787,462 years? No, bitch. 61.
Been here a year. That would pretty much negate count 76. So there's that.
So there's that.
Oh, yo, you're right. You took a year. I'll take, let's see, which murder victim should we drop off because you spent a year in the pen? Oh, God. The kid, the old lady. Shut the fuck up,
No, we're
Darrell.
just going to get rid of bail jumping.
I'm confused. I don't understand the true nature and cause.
We'll drop the simple assault. We'll give you time credit, 3 days.
Basically.
Good for you.
The charges. So I can't. I don't.
I think
don't
count
understand.
76 was
I can't really.
the domestic violence charge, I
Being
think.
sentenced when I'm still trying to. I don't understand.
All this time. I don't understand why I'm being sentenced for something that...
Who said it earlier? Texas executes people with Down syndrome? That's the thing. You don't got to understand. Like, there are a bunch of documented cases of legitimately developmentally delayed people being sent to their death because the legal system is a process and they got put through it.
Right.
Innocent? Sure. Mentally subnormal? Yeah. But was justice served? According to the pattern in the book, yes. So rest easy, people.
Not a delay tactic.
A 30-second head start.
It's not attempting to be disruptive.
Not now.
It's not intended to stop the proceedings.
Because you
Proceedings
literally
are
can't
fucking
at this
over.
Point. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, we're still going, Matt.
you believe it, Matt? This Yeti's bone dry.
I know.
Comprehension.
I would cheers you, but again, bone
I
dry.
can't say with 1,000,000% certainty that everything.
You know what, Thomas? I think I like that idea. Many people have floated the idea of a prison island, right? And even some of them have put the idea of putting, not, if you've seen the movie, the classic Steven Seagal movie, Maximum Conviction, they do send Stone Cold Steve Austin after some criminals. But yeah, Ultimate Warrior, Kane, the Bushwhackers, let's resurrect Macho Man Randy Savage for this shit, Jake the Snake, Honky Tonk Man.
Big Show probably wouldn't be bad.
Big Show. Let's bring back Andre the Giant to lay some smackdown. Like The Rock's going to come back after his career, but we could probably get John Cena. That's not 90s. I'm going to think on that.
As far as
Entering the new school representing Triple X and the degeneration, you know what I mean?
Triple X.
Hard foundation.
Shawn Michaels.
What's his name? Something Ravishing Ramon.
The mental health
Snatch
issue.
your birthdays. Oh, fuck, we got a Steven Seagal motherfucking fan in the house, Tina. I'm going to snatch every motherfucking birthday.
I'm Steven Seagal.
I'm going to snatch every motherfucking birthday. I'm going to have fully clothed sex with a nude 110-pound Chinese model. Like a walrus in a trench coat crushing a sardine. You better believe he snatched her motherfucking birthday. She dead.
You've seen them rear their head
I love the fuck out of cookies.
at times. I believe that. I know that you've seen that rear his head at times. I also believe that you recognize the need for the help that's needed.
Here's the thing: when people like this idiot or anybody who goes like, "Yeah, I need help. I need the like," do they just expect to walk into like a therapist's office and be like, "Yo, I was sad and I killed a bunch of people," and they go, "Oh, whoa, that sucks. Here's a dum-dum. See you next week, but you can enjoy freedom."
Right.
Don't forget to pick up a Paw Patrol sticker from the receptionist, you stupid bitch.
You've
Sex with you right after this
seen
fight.
things as far back as my childhood. And I believe that you understand the certain needs that would benefit where to start.
Like it's almost as if like he got hired for like a human resources job and now he's having to give a speech about human resources, but he's a fucking idiot and doesn't know that HR even stands for human resources. So he's like, you got to get the help to the people that need it at the times they need it in the quantities in which they help.
There's so many issues that
TPS
I've been
reports.
trying to address for a long time.
Right, but now that it's over, Darrell, it doesn't
A
matter.
very long time.
Before the murders, you had a chance.
I don't know where to start. I have no idea.
I can't even answer a single question about where to start. And there's so many. Right, guys? I haven't seen any in the typing square yet, but there must be some. Fucking
I can
idiot.
tell you that I want to be able to get to a point in my life where
I'm not in jail.
I can have.
There should just be a prison for people who get over 500 years. Right?
Right.
Just put Chris Watts, Daniel Holtzclaw. I can't remember if McDaniel's got more than one life sentence, but everybody who gets like multiple life sentences, put their ass in the same place.
Why not?
And then release collector cards a la Garbage Pail Kids and then make the money that way, right? Stop speeding tickets. Make Garbage Pail Kids for multiple lifers. They can't make money off of it, like if they write a book or whatever, but I'll buy fucking a $2 pack of like Garbage Pail Murderers. And you don't really have to put them in, ADX Florence, maybe, but they wouldn't necessarily have to be in the same prison, but it would be hilarious if they did.
Recognize before.
P.S. ADX Florence, before I learned about all this, I thought it was here in Florence. It's not. It's in the Rockies.
Oh.
It's the Alcatraz of the Rockies.
Oh.
It's like, whatever. It's like what water is for Alcatraz, the woods and mountain lions is for Florence.
Ouch.
It's like any Russian prison.
Before it happens, when something could become out of control, before
A vehicle could get recalled, perhaps, before a jury could get nullified.
an outside source can maybe pinpoint it and say,
Okay, we talked about this earlier. If you're one of these people like with pronunciations or the venomous poisonous thing, N and A is something that annoys me because I'll get flustered with it too. N comes before a word that's a vowel, right? Starts with a vowel. An apple, an orange. Sometimes people will do it with H's. And hilarious, sometimes you'll hear. A for vowels, a banana, a
Yeah.
peach, right? N, apple. Oh, hoity. It's like the whom of A, right? But people don't use whom right either. To whom it may concern. N, banana.
I want to get to a point where I can be able to
Here's your English lesson for today.
It was an hilarious observation.
I want to get to a point where
Again,
I
out of
don't
prison.
have a mind that's jumping back and forth and all over the place, and these moves they go from here to here to here to here to here to here to here, and then it's like, oh, I'm cool.
What are you talking about?
His mental health.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I'm cool.
I don't want to be like a guy who like goes from here to here to here to here. Sometimes I worry I'm not descriptive enough when I'm telling you things and I go, have I lost the thread? But I can rest easy on the fact that when I started talking, I knew what I was going to say. Sometimes I'll get lost at the end of the path and I go, whoops, and I'll hit the play button again. Darrell just is blindfolded playing Bird Box Challenge in the middle of the fucking woods. We have to watch it.
Thomas says, what was your favorite part of the stream last night? Oh, definitely the hot A or and breakdown. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And hilarious observation made by a host. A host.
I want to get to a point I can have hair as nice as you, Judge. It'll make me the prettiest girl in prison.
Hey, Pantene Pro V, I bet she fucking rocks that shit.
Yeah.
To here.
She judges her budget as feasible.
Ooh.
I want to get to a place where I can combat that.
Not here, or here, but there, where I can combat it.
I can go, I'm cool.
Your Honor, this has not been easy.
No.
And not just this, but life in general. It has not been easy.
Cool.
It's not easy to
Be green.
Be cheesy.
wake up every day and
Not easy being Kermit. It's not easy being Chester. That's pretty much it. Everybody else, pretty easy.
to figure out
Maybe it is Maybelline.
Yeah, maybe.
how
No,
to
it's I guarantee it's fucking Maybelline. Look at her face. Here's the thing. Girls in their makeup, right? They will look, they do the smoky eye thing and there's a bunch of dynamic shadows and stuff and you go, whoa. But most people's faces like mine, are not like mine because my nose is huge. Most people's faces are flat and they don't have a lot of dynamic shadows. And you see a lady out of makeup and her face is flat as a board. You go, ah! How do you feel about that? I don't know if I like it or not. Because like Taylor's your business, right? Mm-hmm. When she puts on makeup and she's got a little cat eyes thing, she looks like a normal human being. She looks like you would see her out in the world. And like, even if you saw her like a Walmart at 2 a.m. in pajama pants with no makeup, you go, that's mostly a real human because that's what real humans look like. But she goblined it up, man. Like, holy shit. That's someone, well, I guess meth will do that too. So
yeah, there's that added factor.
there you go.
to stay
It's not just the
grounded
cat eyes, it's the meth.
It's the
or how
meth.
to stay in a I don't want to say a box,
But like a prison?
but to be able to stay in a straight line, to be able to take life as it comes, to not only be able to cope with things are gonna happen.
When you see a lady apart from her makeup, the kerosene is intolerable. She'll never take a lover presenting as a common woodland shrew. Fucking nailed it, Thomas.
Life itself isn't easy. I want to get to a point, Your Honor, where I can be able to say, okay, it's okay. It's okay.
This is as insufferable as like, there's a documentary on YouTube that somebody put together that is interviews of like dudes who did school shootings. And there's this one Asian kid, I can't remember his name, but like he shot up a bunch of people and like one of the kids he killed, like he's friends with that kid's dad now. And he's like, yeah, I was just like feeling really bad about it. And there's nothing I can do to change about it. And like, it feels like there was a genuine shift in perception, like he knew it was, or at least if there's not an emotional response, it's like a logical, like, oh yeah, I understand what I did was technically wrong. But there's a change. There's something, even if it's slight. This isn't even that. This isn't even like after school special type like pretense.
No, it's just stupid. Yeah, Thomas, this is like, yeah.
It's the worst.
Be myself. I can.
Because that, like, here's the thing. Don't, like, for the first half of your, like, mass murder trial, be like, it was God's will. And then at the end, be like, think about me. What am I going to do? Every day is so spooky. I'm in jail. There are so many coffins in the ground now because of you. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You aren't the only person going through this. This doesn't make you any less than anybody else. I wasn't asked to be born this way, Your Honor. I wasn't. I was not.
Right, but here's the thing. You wouldn't have been asked to be born that way. You would have been asked to be born this way. So you'd say something along the lines of, I didn't ask to be born this way. You wouldn't say, I wasn't asked to be born this way, because nobody asked you. An axe. A hatchet.
I don't understand it. But the fact of the matter is I want to
slap.
get to a point of
paper underwear.
happiness again. To be able to be medicated and not care what people think. To be able to speak my truth.
I mean, shucks. I guess if I have to be punished.
If you guys say so, I mean, I should probably go to Candyland where there's a lollipop in my mouth and butter in my ass 24/7. If I gotta.
That's a space on Candyland I missed. I saw the lollipop one. I did not see the butter one. I'm going to have to whip out that old board game. Might change the way I play.
Some people may think of me lesser than a person because
It's a hidden square on Monopoly, too. It's like, stick of butter in your ass. Don't pass go.
medicated for life for it because they feel like it's not normal. Which lends to the reason why I said not wanting to live to please anyone else anymore, but for me to be okay.
That's what's really important here, Judge.
Me.
Don't you get it? I've been in jail for a year. Remember, everything I said, the most important part is this. You should get credit for time served.
Here, for me to be okay.
Here.
Because I haven't been for a long time. I'm tired. I'm tired, hon. I'm tired. Some days I don't know what's up or down. Some days I don't know.
Okay.
Know.
Right. Like, this isn't a counseling session with your junior high fucking, guidance counselor.
Yeah. Here she goes. She's going to...
Going on 2 hours.
Seriously.
I feel like we're...
Technically, 3 hours and 7 minutes.
Starting to cover the same ground over and over.
You feel like it's happening now? Darrell has been doing fucking burnouts in the same parking lot that's 10 by 10. She goes, I think now that you're basically throwing sparks and there's no rubber left on these tires and the rims are, let's be honest, almost gone now too. Let's call it, Darrell. Filled up that tank 7 times. We spent $800 in gas so you can do these wicked donuts.
I'm going to ask you again because I'm really interested in your perspective.
No! Stop!
And know as I consider and contemplate and finalize what to do in
A little Christina Applegate in her too.
Yeah.
Right?
this case, if there are any sentencing recommendations you have on your own behalf to make at this time.
That is what I asked you over 2 fucking hours ago. And somehow we got an entire Sunday afternoon block of that religious channel that was right in between the WB and UPN that you would always flip past as quickly as possible. I'm not coming to your mega church, Darrell. What do you think about sentencing?
Yep.
Which way's up, Your Honor? That would help.
I don't.
Know where to start or where to ask about where to start?
I don't want to live with inside this pain anymore. I know that's probably not the answer you're looking for.
Guilty?
Your Honor, I really would like
Let me
to.
ask it this way, sir.
Will you shut up soon?
6 of these counts that you have been convicted of are intentional homicide charges. The options for the court are very limited.
However, seeing as how it's in a book, and we want to make sure this all goes off without a hitch, I'm going to give you a limited latitude of 8 or 9 more hours. No matter what you say, Darrell, isn't that hilarious that she has to undercut her own shit to be like, hey, my options are extremely limited. I basically have 2 options. Go.
He has to. She goes
2
like,
hours.
she's like consecutive or concurrent, and then she has to explain to him what concurrent means. Press play.
Without the possibility of extended supervision,
Oh yeah, that part too.
life with the possibility of extended supervision as early as 20 years, that's the statute, and third, anything in between.
So we got 3 options. We've spent a few $1 million, and today alone, several hours listening to your hot gas bag flap. Again, my hands are tied, but you got a couple more hours in you, Darrell. Think if we gassed you up with a little Red Bull, you'd fucking...
Right. She already has her decision made. Like her speech is already printed out in front of
They
her.
always are, because how can you not? It doesn't, like, you would have to be, like, completely incompetent only to change it at the 11th hour for the judge to be like, you know what, Darrell? I wish I had some paper to, like, pull up and, like, rip, to be like, my speech is no longer germane. I was going to throw your ass into prison for literally ever. But when you said that Jesus was my personal Lord and Savior, I decided not to. Case closed. You're free to go.
You want life,
Count
life,
based
or
upon the jury
life?
answering that special verdict question, did you commit the offense of intentional homicide by using a dangerous weapon? Thoughts on it?
People are going as me for Halloween. Case closed. Time served, Darrell. Like, they have sexy Judge Darrow costumes at a Spirit Megastore near me. I gotta go. Halloween's right around the corner, guys. I'm gonna be a sexy Judge Darrow. You're gonna see it.
Do you think you should spend the rest of your life in prison without ever seeing freedom outside bars?
No?
That would be extended supervision.
Question mark.
Should these counts run consecutive or concurrent? Meaning one after the other, or serving them at the same time?
I would not want to be the dude on the other side of the subway counter who has to explain 6-inch or foot long to Darrell.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we start. Halloween defense card.
I didn't understand
Someone dressed up as me after Halloween, but before I was famous, Your Honor.
everything you said, but I did. I can't live a million years.
Oh my God, that's rough. They have opera Halloween costumes with their just recolored Shrek outfits. How hilariously true and hurtful, Thomas. How dare you?
I understand that.
So I feel like
No?
I should be able to go somewhere where I can be helped. Right.
Like,
He doesn't want to be
He's like
forgotten.
begging for a mental institution, but
Yeah.
has like done nothing. Like Shabusiness at least chopped a dude up with her own hands to prove she was crazy.
Correct.
Evaluated.
Oh, she does look like a 1600 English serf. That's where, yeah, you're right. The hair, she looks like she's like a background extra in like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like she'd be third row back being like, burn the witch. Perfect. You fucking nailed it.
I can't live a million years, Your Honor. Just do your best. We won't hold the rest against you.
If that is an extended period of a long, long time,
Stop talking to Darrell,
at
Judge.
least I know that I'm getting what I need. Not what I want, what I need.
You don't know what you want. You don't know what you need. You could be getting either of those right now and be utterly oblivious. As a matter of fact, I guarantee he's getting what he needs right now. Does he appreciate
Butt
it?
stuff.
No, because he might not like butt stuff.
Then
Might.
I would be able to say, it's okay. You can be you. You can.
He's going to fucking rip off the British Knight slogan from the 90s. It's my world. You just live in it, Judge. And he's going to fucking drop the mic on her desk.
Be grateful for the fact that
British Knights jurisdiction.
16 inches.
experts.
Who are these people in jail?
These rhinos.
I don't
Freaks
know
of
if that's
nature.
the right word, but you have people
Got
that
sent to the huge wiener prison. It doubles up as the multiple life sentence one.
know exactly what to do. That recognize exactly what needs to be done and what should be done.
Mr. Brooks, did you hear the question I asked 20 minutes ago? Now, keep in mind, that was after the 2 hours I let you freewheel.
To be able to, like I said, be properly medicated, which is extremely needed.
Do you think, as I do now, that he's like angling for like medicinal weed? Like he's saying medicated, but I guarantee once he gets in front of somebody with a pen and pad, he's going to be like, I've been reading about weed because
They told me before in the past to not murder.
yeah, back when I wasn't murdering and just basically rapping in front of the murder device that I murdered people with, I was smoking weed. It might made me feel pretty good.
When I was high, I didn't beat my baby mamas.
3 out of the 4 baby mamas never got beat. That's 75%, Your Honor.
I knew my dealer then. I don't have one now.
Sure, it's not a great grade. It's a passing grade.
I don't know if that answers.
I'll follow it up again. What I hear you saying, sir, is that you don't have a specific recommendation.
What I'm hearing is you don't know what you're fucking talking about. You don't know what words
We're
are.
done
You're
here.
mispronouncing. I guarantee if I were to say, is a snake poisonous or venomous, you'd get it wrong. And I guarantee you wouldn't even choose one of the 2 options I gave you, Darrell. What about that?
How long the
Pat
sentences are, whether
frisk.
they're life, whether they're consecutive, whether they're concurrent, but you're asking me to take
Fresh
into
weed
consideration
injections.
your mental health needs and your desire to get help. Would that be fair?
Yikes.
Yes, I would say, I think it should be
So here's the thing. John, the thing you're talking about is like one of these zillions of pranks that happen in like the trades that I was in. Like having your commanding officer pat down a dude with a huge dong is probably akin to like when I sent my methed out helper for the hydraulic flex bender when I was an electrician. They go off and they're going to find something in his case that didn't exist, in your case that existed abundantly, but it's the same principle.
what was the term used?
Subject matter jurisdiction, I think it was. Jury
Is it
nullification.
supervision term or consecutive versus concurrent?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one. What does that mean?
concurrent.
Right. Serving sentences at the same time versus consecutive, one after the other.
Serving all together.
Duh. Obviously, you'd want your personal sentencing recommendations would obviously be to do it all at once.
Darrell. Consecutive drinks at a party. You go to a Halloween party, you have consecutive drinks. So by the end of the night, you can have 6 rum and cokes in your ass and feeling pretty good. If you had concurrent drinks and had to drink a large fishbowl of rum and coke, the first go, you would die.
You'd have a rhino in your ass and you wouldn't know it.
So some things are good when taken all at once, right? Candy, stuff like that. Concurrently. A sandwich, concurrent, bread, cheese, meat, veggies, a concurrent affair. Consecutive, much more of a pain in the ass, where if you had to eat the bread, and then the cheese, and then the lettuce, and then the pickles. But Darrell, sorry, that's way above your skill set. 6 inches, half of a foot long.
I go with concurrent drinks.
My main thing.
Back in the day, I did concurrent drinks also.
You know,
or both.
Like I said, regardless, is to not just be placed somewhere and just forgotten about.
I don't want you to put me in prison and then have the cameras leave and people not listen when I yell and take my shirt off. I don't want that to happen, Judge. Can you swing that shit? Give me a deal with YouTube.
Obviously, I don't know
much
how that all works.
You don't.
But
represented yourself, Darrell.
Right.
Concurrent drinks all around. Agreed. Bone dry in this Yeti.
So's mine in the Bigfoot.
It would greatly benefit me to be able to be somewhere where.
Into the Blair Witch Woods. That's another thing. Here's the thing. Everybody floats the prison island. Nobody floats the concept of the prison haunted forest. Instead of a battle royale situation where everybody's out, tripwires and cameras, let's just let the ghosts and stuff do it. I would love to see Darrell Brooks ripped apart by the Jersey Devil, the Mothman, or maybe the Skunk Ape. See his ass get ripped apart by a skunk ape in the back of a Dairy Queen? Hello? Fuck yes.
Like I said, I can properly evaluate it and medicate it with the things that I need. It could be something that I haven't even discovered yet.
Just gonna cut him off.
Bitch, you're not gonna get a 30-day of Prozac, and once the bottle's empty, they'll let you toodaloo off to be a fucking murderer again.
Right.
Give me those meds. I'll prove to you I'm not insane. No one thinks you're insane, just intensely stupid. And they don't have any limitless pills for you, Darrell.
Be something.
Bradley Cooper took them all.
Maybe way near that could have helped me years ago that I probably wouldn't.
Right.
Never have known.
Just give me some sick ass drugs, dog.
That could have immensely helped.
Do you need a volunteer for a Project MK Ultra? That's way beyond his understanding, but still, be a funny reference.
I want I want the opportunity.
Again, I think we're starting to repeat some of these topics that.
Okay, now the rims are all gone, and now the rear axle has been burnt to a crisp. Do you think we can turn the car off and pull the keys out of the ignition? Judge, I'm talking to you. You're the one allowing this.
Covered, and I understand what you're saying, and I
want to beat this. I want to beat this. I want the opportunity to beat it, to show that it can't.
Keep going.
It's like me right now, right? I'm a 40-year-old dude, and I say, I want to square off and best Babe Ruth. Do you think it's a little late? Has the window closed on that for yours truly? Do you think I can beat this being Babe Ruth?
I don't have to live
Oh, yeah, he's got her on the rope. She's going to just she's going to turn to the spit bucket and be like, oh, you beat it, Darrell. Sentences, nothing.
Yep, you're free to go.
I want to show that.
I can bounce back from being a mass murderer.
Anything that there is still hope. I want to be able to show my children that regardless,
Your dad's a murderer.
you can rise up.
I saw her.
You don't have to.
I believe I understand and
Like she's playing MASH. She goes, time served. God damn it.
comprehend your desire to have your mental health issues addressed and met.
Would have been great before all the murders. So that's not going to happen. Again, the three options are concurrent, consecutive, or somehow both.
Multiple times, I understand that. I can certainly address that in my sentencing remarks here today.
I don't think she
This
does.
time, it's
She didn't say she would. She said she could.
been over
I could certainly sit on, a family-sized pack of light bulbs.
Stop pausing it.
Will I?
hours. I appreciate all of the words you said
Don't
here
make me repeat it.
today and the fact that you've, made a statement.
I apologize for the length. I didn't even
I know, right?
It's not about the
realize.
time. It's okay. But at this time,
Not
I would like
okay,
to take
Judge.
about just shy of 20-minute break, come back at 3 p.m. and start my portion of the sentencing hearing with my sentencing remarks and the sentence. This is a case.
There we are with her sentencing.
I don't know if we can go any longer. Tell you what. We've been doing this for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I've been looking for something to pair up with the next Sarah Boone letter.
And this is going to be it? 10 minutes of her talking?
Do you think we're going to spend 10 minutes?
No.
So that's what we're going to do. Let's do that. Let's call it here because 3.5 hours is quite a trek.
I have to pee again.
Yeah, let's just do that. Next week, what we'll do is I'm going to get Hamburger Helper's reading of the latest Sarah Boone letters, and we'll finish off with Darrell Brooks's sentencing. Because, Jesus Christ, could you imagine if we had to sit through the silences that were edited out?
Seriously, it was 2 hours and 20 minutes, this video, and I cut it down to an hour and 18 or 19 minutes.
We wouldn't have made it through all of that, but we did it.
Salmon brought me here. One day I'll have a painted bamboo on the garden. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
If you show up to our game night, you can have maybe topple Kayla, although good luck, because holy shit.
Yeah, every Wednesday, our Arizona time.
Yeah. Wednesday is typically every Wednesday.
7:30 p.m. Arizona time
There you
on
go.
Wednesdays.
It might be Friday where you are. Check your local listings. It'll be Wednesday here, but if it's Sunday where you are, don't hold that against us. But yeah, we'll do that again. Boy, oh boy, guys. So thank you, Melissa G3111 for the recommendation. We're taking another scoop of Darrow. And so next week we'll have a little Neapolitan. We'll do a little Darrow, a little Boone. 2 lol cows. Back at it again with the white vans. Boy, oh boy, guys. Thank you so much for watching for as long as you did. And if you did, and boy, oh boy, for those of you who stuck it out, I appreciate it because this is fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
That being said, we'll see you Wednesday for some games and such. But that's it, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
For this, try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.